Ace Hardware in Everett and Lake Stevens. We'll help you find what you're looking for and offer friendly advice too. Owners Greg and Christine are all about serving their customers and their community. They support local high school sports and many other community organizations and events. So the next time you need help with your to-do list or project around the house, bring it to Ace. They'll greet you at the door and help you find whatever you need fast. Show your support for locally owned businesses. Shop Ace Hardware just off Highway 9 in Lake Stevens and Evergreen Way in Everett. Ace is the place for the helpful hardware folks.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome into Veterans Memorial Stadium. We got an exciting matchup in store for you guys tonight. Some Friday night high school football between the Snohomish Panthers and the Edmonds Woodway Warriors. I'm David Gillespie, and alongside with me is my broadcast partner, Luke Winsor. And Luke, Snohomish has been getting after it thus far with a 3-2 start. It's been a while since they've been in the state tournament, going back to 2007, and they're certainly trying to steer the ship in the right direction this year.
Yeah, after they struggled with their two non-conference openers, losing both, they've righted the ship in the conference schedule, going 3-0 right now. They're in the first place in the Wesco 3A South Division, really in the driver's seat. And what was really big is a few weeks ago, they handled Shorewood by a big margin, and Shorewood's the team in second place. So they are. So Tyler Larson, their other running back, he's the Thunder. He's the guy that gets a lot of the tough yards in between the tackles. While Messina, they'll line up as a slot receiver. They'll bring him in the backfield to run the ball. He's the big play threat. And together, in concert together, those two are really a deadly 1-2 punch.
Yeah, certainly a jack of all trades with what he can do on the ground, in the air, and even as a returner, where he has already recorded a touchdown in the return game this year. Edmonds Woodway, on the other hand, has its worst start through 5 games since 2009. But they climbed back to 5-5 that year. Can we see a similar result this year, or are they dead in their tracks right now?
Well, we'll know more about that tonight. We'll really probably have the answer to that tonight. They're not used to being on the outside looking in as far as the playoffs are concerned, so this really feels like a must-win situation for the Warriors.
And we're about to get underway with this exciting matchup between these two crosstown rivals, between the Panthers and the Warriors. Let's get it going. Return from Snohomish at about the 10-yard line. He's going to go up the middle before jetting to the left side, and that's Tyler Massena with a return of about 21 on the play. Snohomish taking the field for the offense for the first time.
It's a decent starting field position for Snohomish on Messina's return there. And what I'm interested in seeing with Snohomish is right now they have Larson and Messina. They call themselves TNT. You have two viable playmakers on offense. That's good enough usually to get to the playoffs, maybe win a playoff game. If they can take control of this game, I'd like to see them maybe start getting the ball to other guys on the offense, see if they can get a viable third option.
Absolutely. Knover out of the pistol will hand it off to Tyler Larson, their other back, the other T on the team, but he will be stuffed at the line of scrimmage for no gain. And all of a sudden, it's second down, and we're getting underway with getting into the 22nd mark.
Good job by the Warriors at the point of attack. It was a linebacker who made the play. It looked like it was number 3, Marcus Dilworth, but it was the defensive line that really kind of stood up the offensive line of Snohomish that allowed the penetration by the linebackers.
Yeah, Edmonds Woodway known for their defensive play. They were a stout defense last year, an incredible team, but they lost a lot of key players defensively and are rolling with a new cast this year, and it's going to be interesting to see how the season unfolds as it winds on. As Conover hands the ball back to Tyler Larson on the play, and it looks like he'll gain about a yard on that, and it'll be third down for the Panthers.
Great start for the Warriors. They've won first down, they've won second down, and they're forcing a third and long. And this would be a really confidence builder for the Edmonds Warriors defense if they can get a 3-and-out to open the game.
Yeah, they're led by number 7 linebacker Ben Grimes, who's a Midwest transfer this past from last year going into this year. So he's brand new to this team, but certainly making a contribution this far with over 40 tackles on the season. As Snohomish going out of the pistol yet again. The 2-back set, motioning Messina to the outside, and he's going to gun it downfield, but unable to connect with his guy. That was Makai Williams on the target, but unable to connect on that one. Looks like Snohomish will be giving the ball away early in this one.
Williams had a couple steps on his men on the post route. Just Conover was just unable to connect with him on the pass, and sometimes on third and long, that's not usually the down distance I want to throw deep on. I just want to call a route that gets you the first down, get the easier completion.
Absolutely. Snohomish ready to punt it away to Edmonds Woodway. Bobble with a snap, but able to get it off, and looks like it's going to be down at approximately the 31-yard line. The Warriors getting set to take the ball for the first time tonight. They're also a very run-oriented team led by Capaccio Cherry, who is also a very efficient back, had over 1,100 yards and 16 touchdowns last year. And, yeah, another workhorse for them, another elusive back that is very difficult to catch up to, and they're really been leaning on him quite a bit this year.
And last year Edmonds ran a lot of spread. This year they're going back to their bread and butter, which is the I formation. And right now they're in a slot set, and usually they like to run lead ISO to the T receiver side, such as they did there. With
a 2 tight end set and a run up the middle, and that looks like it'll be a gain of about 7 yards on the play. Capaccio Cherry, it looks like, who's on the carry.
So Edmonds, when they're in I backs, whether they're in a slot formation, such as they were there, or they go pro set, which is one receiver on each side plus the tight end. The 2 receiver side, that's where they want to run the lead, which is they did on that play, and then the 1 receiver side, which right now as we're looking at it, would be to the right. That's where they'll run counter tray.
Again, out of the I formation is Edmonds Woodway. Another handoff up the middle, and he'll get close to the first down line, but maybe a yard short on that one. Edmonds Woodway with Patrick Norton under center. They've had a couple changes on the for their leader under center this year, and they're hoping that Norton is the guy for the remainder of the season.
So now we see Edmonds in a standard pro set, tight end to the right, Z receiver to the right, and the X to the left. Right now it'd be lead right, counter tray left.
Looks like a handoff to the fullback. Looks like they may have gotten the first down on the play. It was Ben Grimes on the carry. Of course, we noted him as one of their star defensive players and getting his fair share of carries early in this one right now too.
And that was a fullback trap. That's one of the plays they will mix in. They'll have a trap to the fullback, a toss sweep, but primarily about 90% of their run game is the lead ISO or counter tray.
Yeah, another run-oriented team, and really shown it early on in this one. Not passing the ball on this drive this far. Norton's under center yet again in the eye, but he hits up his receiver on the right side, and looks like they may have gained 1 yard on the play, connecting with Dylan Rundorf on the play.
It's a little play action Cherry, then try to hit Rundorf on a wide receiver screen, and good job by the Snohomish defense, just overall team pursuit, stopping that play for a minimal gain.
Yeah, they read that right from the get-go and limiting them to only 1 yard. And trying to find a way to get the ball back and redeem themselves from their first drive mishaps. Norton under center again with 2 receivers to the left side. Another handoff to Cherry, who cuts to the right and ends up getting a first down and more. Again, Cherry, the cowbell of that offense, just constantly leaning on him, and he's been an unbelievable asset to this team thus far as they're trying to get right back on track again They had that ugly 1-4 start, first time since 2009. This is a team that generally dominates the Wesco Conference. So it's a real surprise to see them get off to this slow start, despite, of course, the immense loss of players due to graduation from last year.
Yeah, again, unfamiliar position for Edmonds Woodway to be in, but Coach Gradwell's been around a long time, so he knows how to get a team out, including going against tendencies like they did in that last play.
Norton with another handoff to Cherry, but he is stuffed behind the line of scrimmage for approximately a loss of about 4 yards on the play, down to about the 50-yard line.
Again, Coach Gradwell going against the tendency. He runs the counter trade to the two-receiver side, but Snohomish was not fooled on that play, getting a tackle for loss. So I thought I knew you, Coach Gradwell. I thought I knew you.
Got a couple tricks up his sleeve, huh? Norton up behind center again, out of the eye, tries to connect with his receiver, but unable to do so.
They're trying to get a fullback screen there to Ben Grimes off the play action. They sent both wide receivers who lined up in the slot, in an inverted slot set on the left. They sent them both deep downfield, trying to run defenders off, and slip Grimes, the fullback, in behind the offensive line. But under pressure, the pass was fired right at him, and at such a close range, that's a tough catch for anybody to make. And
with a run-oriented team like Edmonds Woodway facing a 3-4 defense in Snohomish, do you feel that serves to their advantage in terms of getting the ground game going early?
It depends on those three. Anytime you see a three-man front, if those three guys are really stout, they can make up for that lack of the fourth guy.
This time out of the gun, and Cherry out of the Wildcat, rather, may have gained about a yard on the play, and all of a sudden it's going to be 4th down for Edmonds Woodway, handing the ball back to Snohomish.
Wildcat and Cherry playing the position quarterback counter, and the Panthers were not fooled. And I think we're going to be calling Capaccio Cherry's name a lot tonight because he really is sort of the bell cow back of this Warriors offense.
Woodway punting it away. Snohomish is back there to receive. Tyler Messina tackled at approximately the 15-yard line.
Great coverage there by Edmonds Woodway.
And Snohomish trying to redeem themselves from their mishaps on the first drive. Unable to get much going. And looking to lean on Tyler Messina furthermore as well.
And normally I would not punt anywhere near Messina, but if you can cover like that, then go ahead. But again, anytime you give Messina the ball in space, that's risky.
Yeah, he has incredible straight line speed. I mean, this is someone who is very, very elusive. Once he gets past you, it's hard to catch up to him because he's just off to the races, as he is right now.
That's
cutting
Larson
to the left side. Oh, excuse me, that's Larson on the play. And he's going to get more than a first down, about a 16-yard gain on the play with a big carry for Snohomish.
And it was Messina leading the way, just given to Larson on an outside zone to the left. Messina with a nice block to help spring Larson, and Larson was able to get to the edge and turn up the field for the first down.
And Snohomish getting off to a hot start in this drive right now. Out of the pistol again with twins to the near side. Handoff to Tyler Messina, who gets about 6 on that one. And they're getting off to a great start this far and trying to put the first score on the board and put their foot on the throats of Edmonds Woodway early.
And so far, both plays on this drive, they've run left, so maybe they've found something on that left side of their offense. And again, anytime Messina gets the ball, he's a big play waiting to happen. If he doesn't get tripped up there, he had some space to run.
Yeah, averaging approximately 9.5 yards per carry as a running back this year. And they're going to hand it off to him, or excuse me, they're going to hand off to Tyler Larson on that one. Looks like he may have gained the first down.
I think he's going to
be close.
It's worth at least a measurement, I think.
Yeah.
That's really close.
That is pretty. I think he may have, yeah, it looks like they're marking him about a half-yard short.
And the play was meant to be an outside zone, but Larson saw some space inside, so he cut it back and falls just shy of the sticks.
Conover under center, out of the pistol again. Probably looking to hand it off once more to Messina, or Larson, excuse me. Larson is stuffed at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
I think they're going to give him I think that's a pretty favorable spot, it looks like to me. I think they're going to give him the first down.
It didn't look like he got the first down on that, at least in my eyes, but wow.
It looked like the Warriors sent both middle inside linebackers on a blitz, and they met Larson hard in the hole, and wow, that's a generous spot.
That is a generous spot. I did not think he got the first down, but they are giving it to him, and they're moving the chains for Snohomish to continue this drive with 4:06 left to go in the first quarter.
Well, we're not wearing striped shirts, so our opinions don't really count.
I know, right? We're just here to present the game. That's it. Looking over with a handoff. Oh, nope. He keeps it on the read option and is stuffed in the backfield for a loss of yardage. Approximately about 3 yards of loss on that play. And
actually, no, that was Messina, I think, on a counter.
Was that Messina?
Yeah, it was Messina on a counter. And something I'm noticing right now with every play Snohomish has been in, they've been in a two-back set. And Edmonds Woodward, they're bringing their strong safety down as an 8th man in the box. Yeah. And I think if Snohomish can catch him that again, they can go play action, maybe burn him.
And that's the thing. Both teams so very much heavily run or lean on the run game, as Conover connects with a receiver for about 11 yards on the play. Looks like they may have gotten the first down right there. Looks like he was able to connect with Jacob Brandvold on the play.
Brandvold runs a 6-yard route, catches it, and as he's moving forward, really the tacklers for them, Edmonds Woodward, helped them. They pulled him forward. Never pull a guy forward. Push him back. Push him back.
Conover out of the pistol again. He hands it off to Larson, who jets up the left side for about a 5-yard gain, 4-yard gain maybe. And Larson really getting his fair share of carries in addition to Messina.
Almost looked like a power out to the left side, but instead they pulled the play side guard, which is a little different version of it. Getting about 4 yards. And anytime you can get at least 4 yards or more on first down, that's a successful play for the offense.
Still leaning on that pistol offense that they so regularly run. Fakes the RPO with or runs an RPO with connection on the left side to his receiver. It looks like they may have gotten the first down on that one.
Brandvold on a slant, which is, if that was an RPO, then he read it correctly because the inside linebackers both went towards Messina on the fake. He pulls it, and then you get the slant in, going to where the linebackers vacate. And anytime I think if a defense is suspecting RPOs, you really want to play your corners on inside leverage to take away the slant, which is the typical pass route on those plays.
Number out of the pistol again with a carry to with a handoff to Tyler Larson. Gets about 2 or 3 on the play, about 3 yards on the play. And Snohomish trying to change it up a little bit, run some RPO, running some inside and outside handoffs. So really, I figure with both teams so heavily leaning on the run game, I mean, you know, they're both going to be game planning against those going into this one. So you figure they want to jazz it up a little bit,
well,
right?
Also the weather, too, with it been raining all day, might have something to do with the play calling.
Conover dropping back to pass, unable to connect with his receiver. Trenton Brown dropping the pass on that one.
Good. It was a good pass. It was right on target. Brown's just got to haul that in. And from our vantage point, it looked like Brown started to take his eye off the ball, seeing where he was going to run before he actually caught the ball. And receivers are taught, look the ball all the way into your hands before you look to see where you want to run with it.
Snohomish facing a 3rd down and 6 with 1:18 left to go in this quarter on the 34-yard line in Edmonds Woodway territory.
You have to think with this field position, it's 4-down territory here, so they could still run it to set up a shorter 4th down.
And Conover bobbles a snap. Looks like he may have recovered. Oh, nope, never mind. Edmonds Woodway recovers the football, and it's a turnover for Snohomish early in this one.
Self-inflicted wounds by Snohomish. On the replay here, it looked like Larson wasn't expecting a handoff, and he was going straight into block, while Conover tried to stick it in Larson's gut. But with Larson not expecting the handoff, ball got knocked free, and Edmonds Woodway was able to recover. Big turnover there.
Looked like some miscommunication on that one, and just not being 100% ready on that play, and it's a costly mistake as Edmonds Woodway recovers the ball and is looking to capitalize with Cherry on the right side, dragging his defender for about a 6 or 7 yard gain, and they're taking advantage of that momentum swing early in this drive.
As Grady Kench on the stop, and he got a hold of Cherry. It looked like he, instead of just trying to make the tackle, he's trying to strip the ball out, and that allowed Cherry to drag him for a couple extra yards.
Cherry, a great athlete, also a regional qualifier for Edmonds Woodway Wrestling this last year. He's expected to make a big impact on their wrestling team this year as well. Looks like there was a timeout called by Edmonds Woodway on there.
The clock never stopped.
Yeah, it looks like there may be an issue with the clock as well, because the clock is still running.
Almost 10 seconds ran off when after the timeout was called. And officials going to the Snohomish sideline to let their coaches know, to hopefully tell someone in the booth, at least I would assume.
And Luke, when you deal with, how do you cope with that adversity, with that setback early in the game? With you're in the first quarter, you're getting a drive going, a great drive going, where they were in Edmonds Woodway territory. You make a costly fumble. What do you tell your players, going into having to deal with their defense, to counter Snohomish's or Edmonds Woodway's offense, and have to deal with that kind of setback? What do you tell them to keep their focus in the right direction? Well,
something that you tell the defense is sudden change, and you practice that throughout the season. And sudden change meaning our offense turned the ball over, you need to go out and make a stop. And then you talk to the offense and just go over what happened. Was there miscommunication or not? You try to fix it, and then you just encourage them to say, hey, we had a good stuff going, and let's flush it, and when we get the ball back, let's put together another good drive, and this time finish.
And that will be the end of the first quarter. With the score still tied up 0-0 apiece, and Edmonds Woodway with the ball right now on a big turnover they were able to create as a result of the offense's mishaps from their quarterback take as we begin the second quarter.
And 3rd and long here for Edmonds Woodway. They really haven't. The one pass they've put up so far was, they put up 2. Both were screen passes, and so maybe we'll see another screen. But I'd expect eventually, Coach Gradwell for Edmonds Woodway is going to have to call something down the field and really trust his quarterback Patrick Norton to throw it to a receiver down the field.
It'll be interesting to see as we get started with the second quarter.
Now they're trying to figure out where the chain goes, and you go here, no.
Will we see Gradwell lean on his bread and butter out of the run game, or will they change it up a bit, run a little more RPO, or what? Norton under center out of the eye. Hands it off to Cherry, who jets out to the left side, and he has broken a tackle down to about the 20-yard line, out of bounds, and a huge gain to get this drive within, to get Edmonds Woodway down inside the red zone, where they're within striking distance of the first score of the game.
Looks like Snohomish sent a blitz there, and they got a couple of guys into the backfield, but Cherry made the miss. And often, if you blitz a run play and you don't get the tackle in the backfield at the line of scrimmage, big plays can happen for the offense, and that's what happened there for Edmonds Woodway.
Cherry certainly making a big impact early for this Warriors offense. Handoff to the fullback, Grimes up the middle. Looks like he may have gained about 5 yards on the play, down to about the 14-yard line. Snohomish may be in trouble early right now in the second quarter.
It's that fullback trap that Edmonds Woodway, they'll sprinkle it in every so often just to sort of keep the defense honest, and that time they got it for a nice gain of 5.
Once again, out of the eye with Twins to the near side. Norton under center. And a handoff to Cherry yet again. And maybe he gained 1 yard on the play, but Snohomish was right there to read it and make the stop to hopefully build on that and create a stall on this drive and force a field goal.
Time against Edmonds Woodway run counter trace or their bread and butter play. I didn't really like how Cherry ran it. He didn't follow his pulling lineman. He kind of went just straight up the middle and right into the teeth of the Snohomish defense.
Snohomish stacking the box on this one, expecting maybe a carry from Cherry yet again, and they do, and they're able to stuff him in the backfield, it looks like, for a loss of about 1 on the play, and that will force it to be 4th down, and you have to expect that Gravel's going to call out the field goal unit, right?
It depends. In the past, he's had good kickers, but if he doesn't feel like he has a good kicker, especially in this weather, he'll go for it. And again, nice play by Hunter Philibom, shooting into the backfield to make that tackle.
And Edmonds Woodway looks like they're going for it, in fact, on 4th and 4. Going to be interesting to see what they have drawn up for this one. And he's going with play action. Norton unable to get the pass off, and it looks like a strip sack with Snohomish taking the ball back and redeeming themselves for their early turnover back late in the first quarter.
Great pass rush there by the Panthers, and it was a Grady catch. He comes with a fumble, but it was just probably could have given a third or a fourth of a sack to a few different players for the Panthers. They really got in there, and they didn't give Norton really any time to set his feet and make a throw. So good job by the Snohomish getting the momentum back after their first turnover.
Yeah, both turnovers forced within the opposing team's territory. So better late than never. That's what they always say. So Snohomish happy to capitalize, or to have a chance to potentially capitalize on that turnover that's got to shake the confidence of Edmonds Woodway. As we get into the 9-minute mark of the second quarter.
Until they try to hit Noah Dunham on a tight end on just a little seam right up the middle. But he took a hit right as the ball got there, forcing an incompletion. Now Messina's in the slot down here, coming in motion.
Okay, I'm going to break in here, gentlemen. We've got an update from Lake Stevens. We're going to go live to Scott Oshman, so we'll keep the game on. Well, actually, we'll stay. Wow,
nice run by Messina on the fly sweep.
Great carry by Messina on that one for a huge gain.
Taking it just past midfield.
Of over 30 yards on the play.
And Snohomish is going with some up-tempo now. And they got some momentum on offense.
Speeding up, trying to throw off Edmonds Woodway and take advantage of their trouble in preparing.
Can you hear us there, Scott?
And Conover connects with Messina on the outside on a swing pass. And Messina plowing his way on the right side, out of bounds for almost a first down, at least 9 yards on the play, with a great catch and a great run from their star running back.
We have an update, Todd?
We don't. He was there for a second. We'll see when he gets back. Yeah. We've got live updates coming from Lake Stevens with video, so this should be pretty exciting.
Conover out of the pistol, but he bobbles the snap, and is it another turnover? It is indeed. Edmonds Woodway with the recovery.
Again, another botched handoff by Snohomish, resulting in another turnover.
Grayson Lecomte on the recovery, and wow, it's right from out of the backfield too. Whether it's a botched snap or a botched handoff, it's been everything in that general realm of play. So it's a big surprise to see 3 of them right now in the span of, I'd say, about 10 minutes, right? And
without really knowing what the play call was, you don't know if it was a bad fake, if the running back who was getting faked, he got too close, or if he didn't know he was supposed to get the ball. But either way, just unfortunate turn of events for the Panthers.
Edmonds Woodway looking to hand it off to Cherry yet again, who spins out of the tackle, and he's off for the races. And it's a touchdown, Edmonds Woodway. the 8:40 mark in the second quarter. Capaccio Cherry with a huge carry, and he puts the first score on the board for the Warriors.
He broke a couple tackles and then he was gone. This guy, he runs hard. You have to wrap up when you go to bring him down. If you do not, if you just try to arm tackle him or just try to put a shoulder in him, he will run through those, and that's the result.
Unbelievable carry. He is an incredible athlete. Showing his wheels on that one, his elusiveness too, furthermore. And a big shot taken at the Snohomish defense with that play as Edmonds Woodway scores the first touchdown of the game. And a PAT to boot. It's 7-0 Warriors in this one. And we're going to take a quick commercial break with a word from our sponsors. Stay with us, though, when we return.
Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years. They are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized do-it-best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
Veterans Memorial Stadium, where Edmonds Woodway puts the first score on the board at the 8:40 mark in the second quarter, leading 7-0 over the Snohomish Panthers.
Let's go to Scott Oshman at Lake Stevens. Here we go. Scott, can you hear us? Can you hear us, Scott? Come on, Scott. I can see a picture. Oh, it looks like it's buffering again. All right, we'll keep working on it because this is exciting. Let's see if we can get this thing to work. There you are.
Underway with a big return from Snohomish. Great return from Trenton Brown, who gets down to about the 43-yard line for the Panthers. Try to bounce back from that huge run from Capaccio Cherry just moments ago.
And if you're Snohomish, if you want to make teams pay for kicking it away from Talia Messina, then that's what you do. You get a big return from your other guys and you really put special teams coordinators in a bind in the future.
Yeah, and again, Edmonds Woodway, very heavy, run-oriented team. And, I mean, sticking with their bread and butter. And it worked on that one because, well, I mean, with one spin, he was breaking off one tackler. He was already off to the races, and a big play from them. Larson with the carry up the middle. Looks like a gain of about 6 on the play. Snohomish now looking at 2nd and 5, maybe 2nd and 4 as they try to bounce back from that early score.
And the time they faked the fly sweep to Messina and they gave it up the middle to Larson, what looked like a trap, which is something that he ran to great success with against Sherwood. Been waiting to see if they'd come back to that tonight, and that's the first time that Snohomish has ran their version of the trap.
And twins to the near side with Conover out of the pistol. Looking to his left side, connecting with Messina. And it looks like they may have gotten the first down on that one, and they'll be moving the chains yet again for this Panthers offense.
Just running a little out route from the slot position is Messina. Just a nice little pitch and catch, gets the first down, and a little more before getting knocked out of bounds.
Yeah, he's been, like I said, he's a jack of all trades. He's got 2 receiving touchdowns on the season, a kick return touchdown as well, and 13 touchdowns on the ground. So you can really put him anywhere, and he will contribute to the utmost degree. Conover out of the pistol again with a handoff to Larson, who breaks the tackle and gets down to approximately the 27-yard line, or rather the 29, it looks like. And Snohomish Panthers offense is all of a sudden in business.
And that's a big hole created on the left side of the line. That they run a full play, which is where the guard blocked out, and then the tackle kind of goes inside of the guard and up the field on a linebacker. Great play design, and create a nice lane for Larson and get a big chunk of yards there.
Conover with max protection with two tight ends. And he keeps it on this one and gets a big run down to about the 20-yard line.
That was a busted play. He was supposed to hand out that off to Larson. I think he slipped and instead of risking a fumble, he pulled the ball back and then just kept it himself. And
looked like it was an accidental read option or something.
No, it was just if I can't get you the ball, I'm going to keep it myself.
Exactly.
And really, a great job by that right side of the line on an outside zone, because no matter who carried it, they're going to get a nice chunk of yards there.
Conover out of the pistol yet again, and he's going to hand it off to Larson. Looks like he may have gained about 3 on the play with another run up the middle. And Snohomish finally back into the red zone, trying to respond to Edmonds Woodway. Huge score after that incredibly detrimental turnover that they had allowed earlier in the second quarter.
And Snohomish on that play, they ran their own version of the counter this time with Larson getting behind the pulling guard and tackle, and he was able to get enough for the first down. And this is a new set from Snohomish this year, a wide bunch.
Bunch to the left, and Larson with a carry about up to the right side, and it looked like he was moving that pile of players right there, that crowd of players, where it looks like he may have gained about 6 on the play, and Panthers are within striking distance.
Great leg drive. Those last 3 or 4 yards are all just him pushing the pile. And sometimes when you see it, when an offense uses a new formation, sometimes it's just to create some confusion for the defense. And with that kind of that wide bunch set, they just want to get an extra guy out of the box to create some space up the middle.
And Conover with another handoff to Messina, who spins his way down to about the 1 yard line. And they're only 1 yard away from potentially tying this up against Edmonds Woodway with a big, big drive from Snohomish at the 5:39 mark in the second quarter.
I'm seeing just off the right side, and nice blocking there by the line. Also, Larson contributing to the lead block himself. So setting up a second and goal.
They got their number 1 receiver to the outside, and Makai Williams. But they're going to hand it off up the middle, and Messina is in for the score. Touchdown, Panthers.
Messina on the goal and in short yards. Now, Messina, he's only about 5'7", 155. He's not what your prototypical between the tackles on the goal and running back, but he runs hard, and sometimes with his speed, when you're that short, all you just need is a crease, and he can sport through and get across the goal line like he did there. A great response by the Panthers after allowing that touchdown by the Warriors.
They'll tack on a PAT as well. Tie up the score 7 apiece with 5:19 to go in the second quarter. Snohomish trying to make this a ball game, but we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back after this.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Panthers and Warriors tied up 7 apiece with a 5:19 at the 5:19 mark of the second quarter in this one at Veterans Memorial Stadium. With Snohomish capitalizing on a big drive led by their 2 running backs in Tyler Larson and Tyler Messina. Messina having that 1 yard punch to the right side that put the first score on the board for Snohomish, as they're looking to kick this one away to Edmonds Woodway.
Looks like it's
see how they respond.
Deep for the Warriors. I don't know if I'd want to kick it to him.
Yeah, with how explosive he's been thus far, but not able to get much on that play, getting down to about the 28-yard line. And we got ourselves an exciting ball game right now.
I just remember when I was a special teams coordinator, if any time we saw someone returning on kickoffs who we thought was dangerous, it was always a hard squib towards the numbers. We did not want to give any dangerous return man any chance of hurting us on the return. And Anytime you kick it deep like that, you're playing with fire.
Just got to hope they don't lateral it to the actual guy, though.
Well, those plays take a little time to. Those are a little slower developing plays, and
yeah.
they do. Well,
Cherry with a carry up the middle. Looks like he may have gained 4 on the play. Again, leaning on their star running back is John Gradwell.
Time counter trade to the right side. He used to be have the strong tendency of counter trade away from the slot receivers, but so far every time he's ran it to the 2 receiver side. So even he's done some self scouting on himself.
John Gradwell in his 23rd year coaching for Edmonds Woodway, trying to climb back though from a 1-4 record that they've begun the season with, and another carry from Cherry to the outside on the right side. Looks like he may have gotten the first down on that one as Edmonds Woodway moves the chains yet again.
It was a toss sweep, and it looked like both to the slot side, like both wide receivers cracked down on linebackers, and then they pulled a couple linemen out. And typically, corners, if you see your receiver doing a crack block, hey, you need to let the linebacker know that that's coming. Otherwise, he has a right to get in your face afterwards. Mm-hmm. But B, you need to not get sucked inside so that you can get hooked by the pulling lineman. You need to keep outside leverage, which they did not do such a great job of there.
And Norton under center, out of the eye, the receiver to each side. They carry to their fullback with Grimes muscling his way down to about the 48-yard line, inching closer to yet another first down for Edmonds Woodway.
Again, fullback trap, and they've had some decent success with that tonight. That was only the third time they've run it, but every time they're getting 4, 5, 6 yards, and then that time they got 9. So just something to keep the snow. It's just they run it enough just to keep Snohomish from keying in on Cherry.
Great protection from that right side of that offensive line. Josh Brown helping lead the way.
A little miscommunication there.
Unable to connect on that one is Norton.
Dilworth was running a go route, and I think Norton, the quarterback, expected him to run about a 6 or 7 yard hitch route. That's because he threw it to about that spot, but Dilworth kept going like it was going to be a pass down the field.
Woodway trying to take the lead before halftime on 3rd and 1 at their own 49-yard line, or 48 rather, excuse me. Again, out of the eye, or excuse me, rather out of the, out of the eye. Another handoff to Cherry, who gets a first down and more. Out to the right side and out of bounds. They're moving the chains yet again.
Some counter trade to the weak side, so going back to what I'm used to seeing Evans, what do I do? Counter trade weak, and Cherry was able to hit the hole right away, get the first down and then some to give the Warriors a fresh set of downs, and it really gives them a chance now not only to score before the end of the half, but also to use as much of this clock as possible, and not give Snohomish a chance to get the ball back before halftime.
And as quick as Cherry is, he really builds a lot of speed up as he continues to run, his play. And so it's important that this defense capitalizes in the backfield as opposed to letting him get into open space. As Norton rolls to his left, but unable to connect with his receiver on the left side.
It was boot pass to the wide side of the field to Norton's left, and I thought he could have rolled a little bit more to his left so that's such a long throw in the deep comeback. But he stopped a little sooner than Coach Gradwell would have liked on that boot, and really kind of put himself in a position where he had to throw the ball almost 35, 40 yards in the air.
Edmonds Woodway, 2nd and 10, finally in Snohomish territory. Again, out of the eye, with 2 receivers to the far side. And a handoff to Cherry up the left side, who carries his defender down to close to the first down line. Looks like he'll be about a yard short. It'll be 3rd down and 2 approximately.
So lead ISO towards the slot side. And typically when you see a lead ISO to the 2 receiver side, especially if it's a slot formation, they're trying to get a defender out of the box by having those two receivers there, create a little more space for the running back to run into. Kind of Trey, I think. Nope.
With a handoff off to the left side. On the outside is Cherry jetting down to about the 25-yard line, it looks.
I guess kind of Trey, because it looked like the left side of the Edmonds Woodway offensive line was really, they were skirting the limits of what was legal as far as being off the ball. I thought they were getting ready to pull.
You should shut up.
Hey, Scott, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We got a good picture. What do you know over there?
It is 14-7 Lake Stevens. Glacier Peak has the ball right now. It's at a 1-yard loss at their own 25.
Woodway again out of the eye. The two receivers to the near side. Handoff again to Cherry, leaning on that bell cow. And Cherry breaks the tackle, gets to the outside, and he is in for the score. Another touchdown for Edmonds Woodway.
You can hear how it's going here.
And this one about 25 yards out. And Woodway trying to get into the second half with them leading the Snohomish Panthers on their own home turf.
Again, counter trade to the right, and Cherry did a good job of reading his blocks, and you got some decent blocks down the field by some receivers. And if you want big plays in the running game, have your wide receivers block.
Just an incredible athlete.
Okay,
Lady Cherry is.
Let's let everybody know that we're going to check in with Scott as soon as they kick this extra point here.
And the PAT appears to be good.
The
Warriors are leading 14-7. So let's check in with Scott Oshman and Tim Boyle. We're at the Lake Stevens and Glacier Peak game.
There you are. You're live there, Scott. Tell us
thanks
what's
a
going
lot.
on.
Yeah, big play here if you can hear me. Aiden Ziomas intercepted for the second time. Lake Stevens up 14-7. Had an interception on a critical. They were first and goal or third and goal from the 4-yard line the first half. Yeah, they had a first and goal, and then they threw an interception. Aiden Ziomas, now he just threw another interception. So they are down 14-7 here with 6:58 left to go in the second quarter. And it's a packed Lake Stevens stadium here.
All right, Scott. Well, we'll check back with you in a little bit here. The score here is Edmonds Woodway 14, Snohomish 7.
Great. We'll check back.
Looks good. Thank you.
All right. Yep. Bye-bye.
Woodway set to kick it off. Back to Snohomish. We'll see if they can respond. And it looks like a squib kick. Snohomish recovering it at about the 25-yard line, where they'll get about 8 or 9 yard gain on that one and take the ball at about the 34-yard line and try to get another drive going.
Better job of coverage there by Edmonds Woodway, but on the squib kick, you want that to get a little farther, closer to the numbers, even a little bit outside the numbers, and that ball went right to Brown. He did his best shortstop imitation, fielding that ball and then running with it.
Conover out of the pistol. Two receivers to the far side. And he's going to drop back to pass. Look to his right side, but unable to connect with his guy, Makai Williams.
Ball's way over
his
his
number
head.
one receiver. And they have not been able to get as much going in the passing game as they have in the run game.
And some of that's due to the weather and maybe the game plan, even regardless of the weather. But that pass, you would need maybe Kevin Durant sight and jumping ability to get to that one. Save our Sonics.
Maybe even Yao Ming. I mean, it was that high, you know.
Save our Sonics.
Just kind of slipped that in there, huh? Conover again out of the pistol. Two receivers to the near side. He hands it off to Larson, who gets out on the left side and gets out to approximately midfield.
About the 46.
Oh, no, it looks like they're ruling him out early on that one.
They ran the fold play again. This time a linebacker runs away and met Larson in the hole, but he didn't wrap up on the tackle, and Larson just bounced off, broke it to the outside. Conover actually did his best Russell Wilson impression and by running downfield and blocking. I mean, how often did you see the Russell Wilson pancake a guy last week on
I missed it. Oh gosh.
Oh my! How? That's not something I'd want to be, getting on film of me getting pancaked by a quarterback.
Yeah, especially. I mean, Wilson's he's a strong guy for a quarterback, but nonetheless, that's quite embarrassing. Conover rolling out, unable to connect again.
Just threw that at the feet. Really a throwaway, but I thought Conover actually had a little bit of room to run there. He could have gotten about 3 or 4 yards and run out of bounds. So I'm not crazy about that decision by him.
Brings up 2nd down and 10.
I think he could have kept that and gotten some yards.
And Snohomish only a few yards away from getting into Edmonds Woodway territory and really attempting to create a momentum swing again.
And I believe Edmonds Woodway will get the ball back to start the second half, so this is a big defensive possession for them.
Conover dropping back to pass, looking to his left side, but he's going to roll out to his right, points to a guy, but unable to connect with a great defensive play by Edmonds Woodway. It looked like it was Kieran Browning on the coverage who made a great deflection and forced a 3rd down.
And initially he had good protection, but then when no one was able to get open, then the protection broke down. He gets flushed to the right, and in scramble drill, really no one from Snohomish was able to break free and create and make themselves an easy target for Conover to deliver the ball to.
Yeah, again, they've really been struggling to get that pass game going. It's really Messina and Larson that they've been leaning on for the majority of the night. With Larson out of the backfield this time.
We have a trip set to the near side here. Messina's the number 3 receiver. Timeout.
Looks like a timeout is called. This one by Snohomish. We'll try to figure out what they will run on 3rd down and 10. And we're going to take a quick commercial break. With the score 14-7 with Edmonds Woodway leading. We'll be right back after this.
Your dreams evolve, and with committed support, they thrive. American Family Insurance.
Welcome back to Veterans Memorial Stadium, where Snohomish finds themselves down by 7 on their own home turf to Edmonds Woodway. Conover with trips to the far side this time, dropping back to pass, looking to his right side, unable to connect with his go-to guy. He's usually out of the backfield, but on that play, running a route on the outside is Tyler Messina.
And
looks like they're going to be punting it away now.
And that pass been on target. Messina had room to run and probably would have gotten the 1st down, but the throw was low down around his ankles.
Especially with his wheels.
Just couldn't haul it in. Nice play design. They run the Messina was number 3 in trips, which means he was the closest wide receiver on that side to the line. They run the other 2 outside guys on go routes, run men off, and then get Messina underneath that. They just couldn't connect.
So he's running an out route on that one, and they're going to be punting it away. To see how Edmonds Woodway will capitalize on this previous stalled drive from Snohomish, and a couple broken tackles, but a huge hit from Snohomish. That was Jeffrey McIver on the big hit.
MacGyver, does he also make gadgets that save lives on the side?
Different spelling, but I know, you do wonder.
Well, Marcus Dilworth, the return man for Edmonds Woodway, he should have let that ball potentially go in the end zone for a touchback. Said he tried to take it right around his own 5-yard line and did not get out to the 20. He got close to the 19, but again, that's playing with fire when you field the punt inside your own 10.
But would it have been worth it moving up to only about the 20-yard line as a result of the touchback?
But you don't know that. And the general thumb for a punt returner is if you're standing on the 10 and you have to take a step back, you let the ball go.
That's true, and it is a game of inches, so most definitely every yard is important, especially when we got a close game like this. Sherry runs to the outside on the right side and is able to get about 5 yards on the play and try to get another Warriors offensive drive going.
And
Norton with the handoff to Cherry on the left side this time. Looks like he may have gained about 3 on that play, or 4 rather.
not your typical play calling in a 2-minute drill, but again, Coach Gradwell never has, sort of followed convention in these 2-minute drill situations. He'll call any running play any time, just because he always has that much faith in his run offense.
Norton with another handoff to Cherry, who plows his way for what looks like to be a first down for Edmonds Woodway. And it's all of a sudden a new reset on downs.
And you also have to wonder how much confidence does he have in his quarterback, Patrick Norton. Again, we think it's a 2-minute drill, and he hasn't attempted to pass once.
Yeah, leaning on that bell cow, and Capaccio Cherry, who's just been on an absolute tear tonight with a lot of big carries, carrying the load for Edmonds Woodway as they lead on Snohomish turf, with Norton dropping back to pass. Looks to his left side, unable to connect with his receiver on the play, trying to connect with Marcus Dilworth.
That was Cherry.
Excuse me.
Look on the replay. Cherry,
yeah.
they fake it to him, and they try to hit him on the rail route. That's a play Coach Gradwell likes to sneak him at once or twice a game. And I've had nightmares of that play in the past. So,
yeah, I thought it was 3 first thing. It was actually number 2, Capaccio Cherry, who was the attempted receiver.
But good coverage downfield by Snohomish, because I've seen that play be wide open.
Again, out of the eye is Norton with a handoff to Grimes up the middle. It looks like he's brought down by Messina. Get in on the defensive play as well.
Timeout Edmonds Woodway.
And it's a timeout by the Warriors. But we're going to keep it here as Edmonds Woodway is in control of this one with 18 seconds to go in the first half. I mean, again, like I've been preaching all night, they've been leaning on Capaccio Cherry. What does Snohomish need to do to adjust to this Warriors offense?
Well, at least on one of his long touchdown runs, it was missed tackles. So got to tackle better.
Yeah. Simple mechanics, simple technique.
Everyone get in your run gaps, and when you get your chance, wrap up. And easier said than done. But you just kind of got to get to that. And then offensively for Snohomish they've had 2 turnovers on drives where it looked like they had some momentum going. They're shooting, they're beating themselves on offense. If they can cut down on those mistakes, I think they can, and tackle better on defense, I think they can come back and take control of this ball game.
Absolutely. With 2 comparative teams that run similar styles as far as their offense, I mean, one's 3-4 defensively, one's 4-3 defensively as well, but very similar styles run offensively and very similar skill sets. It seems like it's just a matter of proper mechanics and proper discipline and proper technique, as well, as Norton was pressured on that play and wasn't able to get anything going, and forcing a 4th down.
Braden Ulrich, the freshman linebacker, almost had a chance at an interception there, which would have been a huge play towards the end of the half. Now we have 4th and about 14 seconds left. And yeah, Coach Gradwell is going to send in the punting unit now.
Yeah. With the lead, you don't want to make a costly turnover.
I'm telling my punter, see that kicking net we have down by our 20 on our sideline at the 25. Aim for that. Do not let Tyler Messina get his hands on the ball.
Keep the ball out of Messina's hands. That is what I'm sure Gradwell is preaching on the sideline for Edmonds Woodway.
And he didn't do it. That's a mistake.
Off and it's away from Messina, so it looks like it's going to get out at about the 29-yard line with 9 seconds to go.
Well, initially from our angle, it looked like he was putting it towards the middle of the field, but he did angle it towards the other sideline. Smart play by the Edmonds Woodway special teams there. Do not give Messina a chance in the open space.
Snohomish with only 9 ticks to go, hoping for maybe a prayer if they're going to bother going for a Hail Mary, or do you think they're going to just kneel it and try to reset
either
the second half?
Either take a knee or you hand it off to Larson up the middle, and then you go into halftime and talk things over.
Yeah, especially being a run-oriented team like they are. Don't expect, well, they got 3 receivers to the far side, trips to the far side.
But this could just be to spread them out to maybe give Larson a little bit of room up the middle.
We'll see what happens right here.
Conover
dropping back to pass, rolling to his right side, but he is met by 2 Edmonds Woodway defenders. And it looks like they're going to let time wind down with Anthony Wu on the play with a big sack as Edmonds Woodway leads 14-7 over the Panthers in this one at Veterans Memorial Stadium. We are going to go to our halftime break, and we'll be back in 15 minutes. Stay with us on STSPN.
.2 seconds left to go in the first half. Yard line and punch by Glacier Peak. Gain
there we go.
First carry, and then
can you hear me, Scott?
2-yard bomb.
What do you got for a score there, Scott?
We're 20.2 in the first half. Stevens with the ball. Long back to pass. Getting chased. Still in bounds. And it comes in. 5 seconds. Clock.
What do you got for a score there, Scott?
14-7. Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly. 14-7. You guys are going into the half?
1 second left in the half.
Well, that seems like Glacier Peak's got to tighten that up.
Well, we'll as soon as we go to halftime here, we'll give you a little recap, and we'll give you a live look inside here at Lake Stevens booth.
All right.
That is true. You want to just stay here? We're gonna stay.
Yeah, we'll just stay here and see if your buffering gets better, unless you want to reconnect. Why don't you reconnect, Scott? We'll see how it is.
Okay.
That's much better. Well, it was much better. Yeah, no, that's much better, Scott.
Yeah, I zoomed in a little bit. I'll zoom back out.
There you go. That's a good picture.
We had another timeout here with 1.1 second to go. Lake Stevens up 14-7 here. Scott Oshman, Lake Stevens High School.
You sound good.
Play of the first half. Go screen, and they can't get him down, and that'll end the first half. Glacier Peak does get the ball.
Now, who's got the ball when they come back?
Glacier Peak. Glacier Peak gets the second hit. theoretically, it's a tight game here, 14-7, especially since Glacier Peak gets it at half after the half.
Turn down the audio a little bit from the home.
So you're going to take it into the booth there? Oh, there you guys are. I'm not sure if it's because we're pushing a lot of data or it's your phone over there. I don't know. Because I can see you. Can you hear me?
Okay, so you can hear us? You can.
Oh, yeah. I can hear you good.
Okay, so Scott Oshman, Tim Pointy.
It's the telestrator.
It is. Sorry for my. Hold on. Let's see if I can get my hand out of the shot here. Amateur cameraman. We got to find somebody better. Anyway.
You sound good.
Tell us what's happening. It's been a roller coaster here, by the way.
So Glacier Peak stopped Lake Stevens on their first drive, and Glacier Peak chewed up about 7 minutes on their first drive, took it all the way down to about the 3-yard line. Had first and goal from the 3. Then Aiden Ziomas throws an interception. They end up taking that drive all the way down for a touchdown. So theoretically, that's a 14-point swing when Glacier Peak came up right there. And then Lake Stevens got another touchdown. Glacier Peak's answered with 1 touchdown. But Aiden Ziomas throws two interceptions in the first half. So struggling there a little bit.
Unbelievable. Aiden Ziomas, he comes into this game through 5 with only 2 touchdowns, and he throws 2 in the first half. 1 a killer on the doorstep, as you just said, a 14-point swing.
Exactly.
Trevor Meldrum has the only Glacier Peak touchdown so far in a 31-yard pass from Baby Z.
So it could have been a little bit different if they wouldn't have been intercepted.
Oh, big time.
Yeah, that first interception was really a 14-point swing. It could be, who knows? It could be tied up right now. GP, we just don't know after that. Lake Stevens looks really good, though. Glacier Peak's going to have their hands full if they want to stay in this game.
So what do you take away from the first half? Do you think they can play with them?
Looks like they can. They've got their defense doesn't make a lot of mistakes. That's going to be the problem with Glacier Peak. And Glacier Peak's made a couple big ones so far in this game.
Some interesting things on Glacier Peak. Real quick, so they started out the ball game. Dylan Owens got a lot of the carries. Actually, Aiden Ziomas had many of the first running plays. He comes in, he played well. We didn't see Kalen Briggs at all until late in the second quarter almost.
Correct, and he actually was effective.
Yes. So they're trying to mix some run. It looks like Aiden Ziomas isn't as accurate as he usually is, and they haven't got Evan Manis in the offense too much tonight.
I'd say that's very accurate. Yeah, for some reason, Manis has been covered pretty well.
Did you hear that? He just said I was accurate. Do you have that?
Accurate. Yeah, I don't believe that.
Yeah. He just said I was accurate. Everybody in the booth is laughing. Right? Let me give you a shot of everybody. There's David Kruger.
Oh, look, there he is.
Cameron Van Til. There we go. See, all the hardworking journalists here. Actual real journalists, we'd like to point out.
Real journalists? You mean like for a print newspaper?
Like us. Yes.
All right, we'll go back to the crowd. We'll check in at the second half. And so the score there is 14-7 Edmonds Woodway. Is that what you said?
That is correct. Cherry's been tearing them up.
The running back.
That is correct.
Halftime more.
All right, Scott. Well, we're going to let you go, and we'll check back in with you in a little while.
Sounds good.
See you later.
Every year, thousands of groups depend on Adrenaline Fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Adrenaline Fundraising is about developing leaders through commitment, work ethic, and follow through. Adrenaline has several products including gold cards, coupon books, cookie dough, donation programs, and many other options to help teams raise the funds needed for their programs. Adrenaline's new app called UpPay will help teams raise money while providing their supporters the ability to earn cash back on everyday purchases at places like Starbucks, Nike, Red Robin, and over 200 plus national retailers. Adrenaline Fundraising is this season's sponsor of the STSPN's Play of the Game Award.
We are all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Because we are Snohomish County's premier Lennox dealer, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. The Lennox Home Comfort System creates the ideal home environment. Enjoy innovation in every season with precise, quietly efficient Lennox heat pumps that keep your life simply perfect. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electric today or visit us at gsheating.com.
When you shop at Ace Hardware in Everett and Lake Stevens, we'll help you find what you're looking for and offer friendly advice too. Owners Greg and Christine are all about serving their customers and their community. They support local high school sports and many other community organizations and events. So the next time you need help with your to-do list or project around the house, bring it to Ace. They'll greet you at the door and help you find whatever you need fast. Show your support for locally owned businesses. Shop Ace Hardware just off Highway 9 in Lake Stevens and Evergreen Way in Everett. Ace is the place for the helpful hardware folks.
Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson auto family. That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just on Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe. Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years. They are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized do-it-best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
Your dreams evolve, and with committed support, they thrive. American Family Insurance.
As Edmonds Woodway leads 14-7 over the Snohomish Panthers on the Panthers' home turf. And what a half we saw in the first one. A few mishaps in the backfield from both teams in terms of getting the snap controlled. And, yeah, Edmonds Woodway taking control of this one thanks to the help of their star running back, Capaccio Cherry.
Yeah, Capaccio Cherry, 2 long touchdown runs tonight. Really running hard all night long. And he's probably been about 90% of the offense, and that's maybe being conservative for the Warriors tonight. Meanwhile, for Snohomish, they've kind of beat themselves on offense. 2 fumbles on drives where they look like they had something going, and defensively they obviously need to do a better job of keying on Cherry and tackling him. So for Snohomish, all the mistakes that they've made, they are correctable. The one thing I think I also like to see from Snohomish is play a little more fire, a little more sense of urgency, because they seemed a little flat in that first half emotionally, despite the fact that they're in first place. They should want to kind of keep that momentum going. Well, Edmonds Woodway, they're the team kind of on the outside looking in right now, playoff-wise. They're the one playing with a little more desperation, and it showed. So, again, like to see Snohomish clean things up on offense as far as taking care of the football. Like defensively, just everyone stay in your gaps, make the tackle, and then just overall team-wise, play with a little more aggression, play with a little more fire. As far as Edmonds Woodway goes, until they figure out a way to stop Capaccio Cherry, you feed him, and then you feed him some more. Exactly. And then when he gets a little tired, you let him get a rest, and then you feed him some more.
And they've had some help from their fullback, too, and Ben Grimes is also one of their star linebackers. And like I had spoken about earlier, that he is a Midwest transfer. So he's a brand-new player on this team, and he's been making an impact both defensively and offensively in this one. And it's surprising, too, to see Snohomish struggling so much with this being obviously their home turf, having the home field advantage, and then furthermore being a more experienced team than Edmonds Woodway, who lost so many players last year, especially defensively.
Yeah, again, a lot of that Snohomish struggles because of their mistakes of their own making with the 2 fumbles on botched handoffs. And really, this first drive of the second half will be very important for them defensively. Get a stop, get the ball back, go. And I've heard this from several times from my old head coach. When we were down at halftime by a touchdown, we're going to kick the ball, we're going to get a stop, we're going to get the ball, score, stop them again, get the ball back, score again, take the lead. And that's really the mentality that the Panthers need to have to start out this third quarter.
Snohomish getting set to kick this one away. They will not be getting the possession, which could serve to their benefit for sure to knock this up again at 14 apiece, but they will be kicking it off to Edmonds Woodway with Cherry set to return the kick and add more to his productive day.
And if whether I'm coaching special teams or if I'm the head coach for Snohomish, I'm telling my kicker, do not let Cherry get the ball.
Kick it out of his way, but
he's been the one guy tonight that can hurt you on a big play. Yeah, Grimes has gotten the ball on a few carries on these fullback traps, but he hasn't been the explosive guy. It's been Cherry. Do not let him touch the ball.
Snohomish trying to build on their 3-2 start. Edmonds Woodway trying to climb back up from a 1-4 deficit that they've started the season with through 5 games as Cherry gets things underway with the return out to the right side. And it looks like he's going to get out at about the 33-yard line. And Edmonds Woodway trying to get another drive going as we begin the second half.
Again, it's a squib kick, but it was squibbed right up the middle. No, if you're going to do the hard squib, kick it to the numbers or outside of the numbers. Do not let because you do not want the number one threat to touch the ball.
Yeah, while we've seen the PATs really click tonight, haven't seen much of the kicking or punting game click on the same level with not as many big kicks thus far tonight.
And right now, I think for Snohomish, that you go over what you do, how you defend the counter tray, how you defend the lead ISO. Obviously, you know that Cherry's going to get the ball the majority of the time, but Grimes is going to be leading it a lot of the time. So
Grimes rather,
on the
with
trap.
An inside fullback handoff, but looks like he's going to be stuffed at about the line of scrimmage for no gain. And again, Edmonds Woodway leaning on their run game to start the second half.
And a much better job of defending the trap that time by Snohomish. If they could, because the trap and the counter tray both rely on pulling linemen, if you can get some disruption of those and create kind of a pile, not let whoever the ball carrier is get some momentum, you can really slow that part of the offense down.
And Norton out of the eye again. He's going to toss it out to the outside for Cherry, who bolts to the left side, getting more than a first down at approximately the 52-yard line with a huge run.
You mean the 48?
Or excuse me, the 48. Oh gosh,
we're not in Canada.
I don't know why. That's my fatigue speaking. Big gain though for Cherry, about 22 yards on that play, I believe, and he's been electric tonight, and he continues to just carry this team on his back as they are now in Snohomish territory.
And again, toss sweep. Snohomish had some players there. They just didn't make the tackle. And once you get there, you still have to finish the play and make the tackle.
Yeah, especially with Edmonds Woodway taking advantage of their outside run game tonight with a lot of big outside runs from Cherry as Norton drops back to pass, and he connects with his guy downfield at about the 15-yard line. That was Marcus Dilworth on the catch. Big game for Edmonds Woodway as they are in the red zone and ready to put another score on the board.
Dilworth, their number one receiving threat, running probably their favorite route as far as downfield passing goes, a skinny post, to be able to get inside, beat his man to the inside and split the safeties, and the nice ball by Norton to put it on target. And if Dilworth doesn't get tripped up there, he's walking into the end zone.
And there we saw some opening up of the passing game with Norton finding his guy with a huge gain. Been primarily seeing a lot of the action come out of the backfield, but on that one, Norton found his man, and what a connection it was. As Norton out of the eye gives another handoff to Cherry, but he is stuffed behind the line of scrimmage for about a 1.5 yard loss. And they're back at the 20-yard line, it looks, or excuse me, they're going to give it.
I think that's the line of
forward
scrimmage.
Progress, rather, because it looked like he was stuffed behind the line of scrimmage, but it looks like it may have given him forward progress to down the ball at about the 18-yard line.
Snohomish blitzed on that play, and they gambled and got it right there, blitzing right into the same gap that Cherry was trying to run into.
Norton with a toss, sweep to the outside for Cherry, who gets down to about the 18-yard line, rather. And now it will be 3rd and long for this Woodway offense.
A little different look from the toss sweep. Last few times they ran it to the slot receiver, the slide with the 2 slot receivers. This time they ran away from that, trying to catch the Panthers off guard, and it did not work as the Snohomish defense was ready for it, and they made a nice tackle on Cherry, holding him to a 1-yard gain.
Edmonds Woodway trying to put this game out of a 1-possession reach. Again, another inside carry to Cherry, who explodes down to about inside the 10-yard line. They'll be close to another first down for this Woodway offense.
Counter try again by Cherry, and that play call tells me that even if they didn't get the first down, which they didn't, they're going for it on 4th down, especially here inside the 10. They, like you said, they want to make this a 2-possession game and really put Snohomish on the back foot.
It's 4th and 1 for this Woodway offense. And they're going to lean on Cherry again, who gets the first down and gets inside the 1-yard line, where they are within feet of another score for this Warriors offense.
And they run the counter tray again, and someone looks like they may have had a chance at him right around the line of scrimmage, but again, more busted tackles by Cherry. So much defense really has to do a better job of wrapping up.
Looks like they're stacking the line of scrimmage. See if that will serve to their benefit, and it does not.
Oh, second effort got him in.
They gave him a touchdown on that one.
Second effort by Cherry gets him into the end zone. Great leg. So many young running backs, when they get hit, they stop their feet, but not Capaccio Cherry. He kept his feet and legs moving to be able to barrel in for the score.
Adding on to his incredibly productive night, he has been everywhere on the field and then some. And it's a big, big drive for Edmonds Woodway to go up 2 possessions now, where Snohomish is a tough battle to climb uphill from.
And I don't know, but if Edmonds Woodway wins tonight, we're interviewing Capaccio Cherry as player of the game.
Absolutely. He is
no brainer.
Most definitely, unequivocally, the MVP of tonight for Edmonds Woodway. And we're going to take a quick commercial break with Edmonds Woodway leading the score 21-7 over the Snohomish Panthers at Veterans Memorial Stadium. We'll be right back.
We are all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Because we are Snohomish County's premier Lennox dealer, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. The Lennox Home Comfort System creates the ideal home environment. Enjoy innovation in every season with precise, quietly efficient Lennox heat pumps that keep your life simply perfect. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electric today or visit us at gsheating.com.
I don't think Mookie deserves it, to be honest. We are back at Veterans Memorial Stadium with Edmonds Woodway leading 21-7 on Snohomish's turf, led by their cowbell in Capaccio Cherry.
I have a fever in the only prescription with more cowbell.
Or excuse me, bell cow. Gosh, oh, what is wrong with me? I know it's bell cow, and I keep accidentally switching around. That's, again, my fatigue speaking.
Explore the space. Explore the space. And when I put it on my pants, I make gold records.
That's great. Oh, man. And a squib kick for Edmonds Woodway, where it looks like it'll be down at approximately the 32-yard line.
As Langdon Orgill, who feel that kickoff, and I think he wanted to get up and run with it, but you can't let your knees touch the ground when you hold the ball here in high school football. This isn't the NFL where you can go down.
There you go. I wish they would change that rule, to be honest. And not to change the conversation away from the game that's going on, but that's something that really needs to be modified, because that just doesn't make any sense to me. When you're down when someone touches you, in my opinion. But anyways, I digress. Conover with a handoff to Messina, and Messina breaks a couple tackles and generates positive yardage on this one, which looked to be either negative yardage or no gain whatsoever, but he's able to get a couple thanks to his broken tackles.
Great individual effort there by Messina. He really should have been tackled for about a yard loss, but again, another good example of keeping your feet and legs moving when you get hit. He did, and he'll break free and get about 3, maybe 4 yards. Those are yards that, by rights, just by the way Edmonds Woodway initially played that he should not have gotten.
And I think that epitomizes the characterization of his plays, just keeping those feet moving, because he's a one-man wrecking crew. He has just been incredible. With another carry to the left side, this time getting down to about the 41, I believe.
And Snohomish, they're going with a bit of a different look that I haven't seen so far this season from them offensively. 2 tight ends with just a single wide receiver, but still in the pistol, and they're putting Messina back behind Conover, the quarterback, and they're having Larson be next to him. Usually when they're both in the backfield, it's reversed. Exactly. Larson's the deep back, and Messina's off to the side.
Yeah. Conover out of the pistol again. He's going to hand it off to Larson, who goes up the middle, down to about the 49-yard line, rather. They're now in Edmonds Woodway territory.
Nice run by Larson, and a nice little hole created by the offensive line off the right side. Convert on 3rd and short, give them another fresh set of downs here. And it's still early enough in the game where they don't have to abandon their game plan and run the ball. They can still stick with it, but their defense will have to do its part.
And Larson again with another carry, had a couple spins to break some tackles, and he gets down to the 32 with Snohomish in gear.
The inside zone with Larson, and now it looks like Snohomish is trying to push the tempo just a little bit, try to catch Edmonds Woodway on its heels. But because there was a substitution, the official is standing over the ball to allow Edmonds Woodway to get who they want on the field.
Oh, and another botched snap. But Messina recovers it and is able to generate, at least get back close to the line of scrimmage.
We lost
about a yard, it looks like.
Yard or a half yard. Yes, ball handling issues is really costing Snohomish tonight. Two fumbles that they lost, and I think that was about maybe the second botch snap that they were able to recover.
Yeah, lack of discipline with maintaining those snaps has been the case for Snohomish tonight, and it's cost them dearly. Another handoff to Messina, who's brought down on that one. That one was Grayson Lecomte on the tackle.
Viva Lecomte. And with the fumbles and the botch snap, it's raining out tonight. So the balls are going to be wet no matter how many times you dry them off.
I wonder if that's been the reason why.
I think that's part of it. But then when it is wet, you just have to concentrate just that much more. Make sure you do everything right.
Be incredibly careful with handling the football. I'm sure that's what Joey Hammer's been preaching on the sidelines as Larson gets a few yards on that one. And it's going to be 4th down for Snohomish. And you wonder if they're going to.
Oh, they're going for it. In this part of the field, you don't gain a whole lot by punting.
Exactly.
And so you might. And since
not to mention
you're
with
too
field
far
goal
out,
kicking, it could be a little much for their kicker.
You're too far away to kick it, and you don't gain much by punting, so you might as well go for it.
And they are going for it indeed out of the pistol again with max protection. A handoff to Larson up the middle, and he will get the 1st down and more. Inside the 15-yard line is Larson. It's Snohomish will reset the downs yet again.
And yeah, Messina's done a couple nice things on the drive, but really the driving force of this drive has been the right side of the offensive line and Tyler Larson running behind them, picking up some nice yards there. And really, Snohomish needs to score here to answer what Edmonds Woodway just did when they had the ball.
Conover again out of the pistol, handing it off to Messina, who gets to his left side, and he is in for the score. Touchdown, Panthers.
Outside zone to the left this time, and Larson, and a lot of that credit to that touchdown has to go to Tyler Larson, because he had the block that really sealed the edge for Messina to get around untouched and into the end zone. You'll watch the replay here. Larson lining up, being more of the fullback. It's a big block right there. Got one guy, knocked him into a second, seals the edge. Easy touchdown for Messina, and the Panthers are right back in this game.
And we've been talking about Messina all night tonight with what he's been able to do on the ground for Snohomish's offense, but Larson really serving his role well, whether it's been as a back or as the lead blocker as he was on that play. And Snohomish now finding themselves only down by 7 with 5:06 left in the 3rd. We are going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with more action from Veteran Memorial Stadium here in Snohomish.
McDaniel's Do It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized do-it-best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
And we are back at Veterans Memorial Stadium with Edmonds Woodway now only leading by 1 score with a great run by Tyler Messina to put Snohomish down by only 1 possession. As they kick it off back to Edmonds Woodway and try to see if they can suppress the run game, the efficient run game that we have seen tonight from Edmonds Woodway coming from Capaccio Cherry, and take control yet again of their home turf. Snohomish kicks this off, and the Warriors receive it with
that's Grimes.
Grimes jolting to the left side, getting out at about midfield with a big return. And that's not what Snohomish needed after that big score to find themselves only down by 1.
On the positive,
touchdown.
They didn't kick it to Cherry. On the negative, they did not do a good job covering that kick. And Grimes showed why maybe they don't want to kick it his way either. He showed a nice burst around the left side after really going across the field, setting up the Warriors with great field position. And it's really imperative Snohomish gets a stop, preferably a 3-and-out. Don't even let Edmonds Woodway think about going for it on 4th down. You want to get maybe a negative play or 2 on this possession, force a punt, and get the ball back into the hands of your offense.
Edmonds Woodway taking control of the field advantage right now at midfield.
I think there's an injured it might be something's going on the sideline that the refs are not allowing play to start. Now the white hat says let's go, and
Snohomish stacking the line of scrimmage, seeing if they're going to hand it off to Cherry, and they do so with him bolting to the outside, cutting back inside. He's reversing field, and he is off to the races yet again. Capaccio Cherry with another touchdown for Edmonds Woodway.
They run the toss sweep to the right, and Snohomish initially did a great job at the point of attack, stopping it, but the backside of the defense didn't do its part and take away the cutback lane. Capaccio Cherry was able to reverse field, get around the end, and he was gone. So, point of attack, great. Backside of the defense, no one at home. You have to stay at home because you never know when the play's going to come back to you, and which the Snohomish Panthers did not do, and allowed Cherry to take a 50-yard run, but really he ran about 70 or 80 yards.
Struggling to stay flat at the line of scrimmage was, in fact, the closest defender that he first juked out was Tyler Messina.
Yeah.
And so it was running back versus running back, and Capaccio, who's been dominating tonight, won that battle right there, and Edmonds Woodway is back up by 2 touchdowns now.
And if Snohomish has any designs of winning the game, they cannot trade scores. Their defense has to get some stops in order to allow their offense to make the comeback.
And a costly mistake for Snohomish at their home stadium.
Curious timeout by Snohomish on an extra point try. If you want to talk to I would think if you're going to talk to the defense, go ahead, let the extra point try happen, and then talk to them about what they need to do wrong. Although that,
with the coach out on the field,
just by the way that the coach was talking, it wasn't so much about strategy. It had more to do about attitude and just mentality.
You would figure that was so, because that play with them reversing field, I mean, Capaccio was running a marathon out there almost.
By the mannerisms of the coach who took the field there for Snohomish, it did not look like a pleasant timeout.
Well, we're going to go to a quick commercial break right now with Edmonds Woodway leading by 2 scores, 28-14. You're watching high school football on STSPN. We'll be right back.
Every year, thousands of groups depend on Adrenaline Fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Adrenaline Fundraising is about developing leaders through commitment, work ethic, and follow through. Adrenaline has several products including gold cards, coupon books, cookie dough, donation programs, and many other options to help teams raise the funds needed for their programs. Adrenaline's new app called UpPay will help teams raise money while providing their supporters the ability to earn cash back on everyday purchases at places like Starbucks, Nike, Red Robin, and over 200 plus national retailers. Adrenaline Fundraising is this season's sponsor of the STSPN's Play of the Game Award.
We are back at Veteran Memorial Stadium, where Edmonds Woodway is in control of this one, 28-14 over the Snohomish Panthers. And they are led by their bell cow in Capaccio Cherry, who had an unbelievable run, reversing field from over 60 yards out. And you have to wonder, how does Snohomish respond after a play that just went so awry, thanks to Capaccio Cherry? In a short return by Snohomish.
Another squib kick.
Another squib kick returned at the 30-yard line. They'll get down to about the 41 for an 11-yard gain.
Looks like that might have been Jacob Brandvold, I believe, on the return there. He bobbled that squib kick, but he's able to recover and get a few yards and get it past their 40-yard line. Yeah, again, so they took another body blow. They have to respond. Offense has to score, but then the defense has to get stopped. So otherwise, if you keep trading scores with Edmonds Woodway, you're going to lose this game.
And again, Conover out of the pistol. He's going to hand it off to Larson, who busts his way up the middle for about a 5 or 6 yard gain. And Snohomish trying to get something going with 4:20 remaining in the third quarter. And they're down by 2 scores.
Get a nice little crease created by the right side of the offensive line for Larson. Like an inside zone running play, and he's not a patient runner, so sometimes I think when you run inside zone, you want someone a little more patient. But Larson's still doing a nice job picking up yardage and helping them move the chains.
And he's going to fake the handoff on play action, but unable to connect with his receiver. It has been just a mishap left and right for this Snohomish offense passing-wise all night. And again, you have to just scratch your head and wonder what's going on out there.
It was a little low. Look at, he's trying to hit Noah Dunham, the tight end, on an out route. Little low. Dunham was open. I think Conover just got a little too excited there, and he rushed that throw. But Dunham will say, it hit me in the hands. I should have caught it.
Conover with a high snap, gets it down, hands it off to Larson, who busts his way through the left side, carrying a defender down to about the 31-yard line. A big carry from Tyler Larson, who is, we've been talking about Messina all night, but he has made his name known left and right as a ball carrier, as a blocker, any way you put it. He's been great for Snohomish if there's any silver lines.
And give a little credit to Messina. This is, he was the lead blocker on that play. He got a nice block on a linebacker, which helped spring Larson for some of the extra yards on that play. And again, I like to see maybe Snohomish up the tempo just a little bit on offense.
Yeah, they're certainly hurrying it up. Messina to the outside. Looks like he's got some room. And say no more, he's got the score. Another touchdown for Snohomish, and another one by Tyler Messina.
And great blocking downfield by Mekhi Williams, the wide receiver. It wasn't a devastating block, but he got in front of his man just enough to allow Messina to get around. And again, I've said it before, I'll say it again. If you want big plays in the running game, your wide receivers have to block downfield, and Mekhi Williams did just that. And great answer there for the Panthers as they try to get back into this ball game. Now it's really on their defense. Can they get a stop?
Yeah, it was open season right there, hunting down the end zone, because there was no one in that area, and he was able to get the job done. They're also able to get the PAT as well, and they find themselves only down by 7. But Edmonds Woodway still leads this contest at Veterans Memorial Stadium, 28-21. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
When you shop at Ace Hardware in Everett and Lake Stevens, we'll help you find what you're looking for and offer friendly advice too. Owners Greg and Christine are all about serving their customers and their community. They support local high school sports and many other community organizations and events. So the next time you need help with your to-do list or project around the house, bring it to Ace. They'll greet you at the door and help you find whatever you need fast. Show your support for locally owned businesses. Shop Ace Hardware just off Highway 9 in Lake Stevens and Evergreen Way in Everett. Ace is the place for the helpful hardware folks.
We're back at Veterans Memorial Stadium, where Snohomish responds with a score of their own, thanks again to their heart and soul of their offense in Tyler Messina, who had an incredible run to the right side, exposing Edmonds Woodway's run defense, unable to take control, and they find themselves only up by 1 touchdown. So they get underway with another drive. And Cherry again returning this one, going up the middle, jukes out a defender, and the ball looks to be stripped. Who's got the ball?
I think several people might have their hands on the ball.
Looks like Edmonds was able to recover it, but a scary moment for Edmonds Woodway offensively on that return.
Again,
With
why
them being only up by 1 score right now.
they kicked it to Cherry again? Again, that's not what I would do, but you don't want to kick it to Grimes either, so I'd find someone else, kick it to him. But now they know, though, Cherry can be a little careless with the ball, so expect maybe more Snohomish defenders when they get a chance to try to rip at the ball when Cherry has it, see if they can't force another fumble.
Again, out of the eye with twins to the near side. This is Edmonds Woodway offense, led by Patrick Norton. And Capaccio Cherry with the carry up the middle, and another big carry for Capaccio Cherry, and he gets down. Oh, did he get the touchdown? Nope, they're going to mark him at the 1 yard line.
They're going to call it a fumble?
Wow.
My
Goodness.
I
don't know about that.
If I am John Gradwell, I am hot right now because it sure looked that ball came out when the ball hit the turf.
Exactly.
And the ground cannot cause a fumble.
You got it.
I know we're a Snohomish site, but that was a horrible call by the official.
That was a very, very. Let's see if he got his knee down.
Well, the ball.
It looked like, yeah, his knee was down before. That should be a touchdown, maybe even.
But the ball didn't. He didn't lose possession of the ball until it hit the ground.
Exactly.
And the ground cannot cause a fumble.
Exactly.
And so not only are they saying it's a fumble, but Snohomish recovers it for a touchback. It's pretty close to whether or not his knee touched before he got the ball across the plane. But it should either be a touchdown or Edmonds Woodway ball at the 1 yard line.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
And if he gets across the plane, it doesn't matter if he loses control, as long as he has control once he crosses the plane, which it appears so. And Snohomish getting a lucky break on this one with that questionable call by the referee.
I would not be upset if it was my ball on the 1, but for a fumble when the ball hits the ground?
That is not a good call. And Snohomish getting a lucky break with Messina jetting to the outside, and looks like he may have gained about 5 on the play. And what a momentum swing. That's got to be a heartbreaker for Edmonds Woodway, who's only up by 1 score now.
Yeah. And I was prepared to dissect how Snohomish played that counter trade. Not very well, but you got to credit the hustle by the defenders. It's not their fault that a questionable call went in their favor. They showed great hustle, chased Cherry down. But wow, this is potentially a 14-point swing if Snohomish can take advantage.
Sadly, there's no challenges in high school football, so we're just going to have to keep soldiering on as Snohomish hands it off to Tyler Larson, who gets about
maybe the 23.
Maybe a yard on the play. And, yeah, Snohomish, you have to wonder, is this where they capitalize? Because is this a turning point?
Yeah, credit Trenton Brown for hustling the whole not giving up on the play and chasing Cherry down. But so now for Snohomish to keep momentum, they need to convert on this 4th down. Otherwise, Edmonds Woodway can take it right back.
Woodway trying to keep their heads in this one after that very, very costly turnover, which didn't appear to be so, but the refs ruled it nonetheless. And Conover connects with his receiver on the outside. He finds Ryan Douglas, their tight end, with a catch that moves the chains.
Their second tight end, Ryan Douglas, he blocks. It's a boot pass to the left. Douglas, the tight end on that side, he blocks down, then he comes free and was able to present a nice wide open target, and Conover put that ball right in the money, and credit Larson for getting up the field right away and getting across the 30-yard line to move the chains.
Again, max protection for Snohomish's offenses. There's a carry now for Tyler Larson. Breaks a few tackles and gets down to about the 41-yard line for about a 8-yard run. Snohomish trying to tie this one up once more.
Nice job by Larson, just running behind his pads, breaking tackles. I mean, it looked like the Edmonds Woodway defense should have had him at the line of scrimmage, but they just couldn't hold on to Larson, and he kept his feet moving. Nice individual effort there by him.
One receiver to the far side, out of the pistol again, and Conover with a handoff to Messina, who gets stuffed behind the line of scrimmage. And that was Marcus Dilworth on the play. A huge hit from Edmonds Woodway's defense.
Dilworth, who's a defensive back, I think he's the strong safety. He's coming down being sort of that 8th man in the box, and he just crashed right through the hole along with number 72, Anthony Wu, a defensive lineman who should get a lot of credit there. He created the push that allowed Dilworth to get into the backfield.
It's 3rd and 5. Ball on their own 39-yard line. Snohomish trying to capitalize on a call that went in their favor. And it looks like they may have gotten the first down thanks to Tyler Larson on that one. And Snohomish really finding themselves in a rhythm right now offensively.
Well, 2 crucial 3rd down conversions already on this drive. Larson getting 6 when they needed 5. And also Tyler Messina as the lead blocker there. You normally don't see a lot of 155-pound lead blockers leading the way, but Messina, give him credit, he's a willing blocker.
Conover with a handoff yet again to Messina, who gets past the 50-yard line, where they're all of a sudden in Edmonds Woodway territory.
A nice play on first down. They got about 6 or 7 yards there. That's a win on first down. 2nd and short, that sets it really opens up the whole playbook for a play call. You can really do whatever you want with this down and distance.
Time winding down in the 3rd quarter with just a little over 20 seconds remaining, with Snohomish possessing the ball and having Tyler Messina and Tyler Larson leading the way. And Messina stuffed in the backfield by Edmonds Woodway. Jack Kramer on the big stop. And now it's 3rd down. But it looks like they're going to let this go to the end of the 3rd quarter, where the score is 28-21 Edmonds Woodway. You've been watching high school football on STSPN. We'll be right back with another commercial break.
Actually, we're going to go to Scott. Scott, are you there?
We're here. We have 10-14 left in the football game. 21-14 Lake Stevens. And they have the ball on the Glacier Peak 30. And there is the last play just coming out of timeout. JP thought they had us, but they didn't. Lake Stevens recovered. And so that's what we said, 21-14, 10-14 to go. It's 1st and 10, as you can see line here from Lake Stevens, and looking to have the ball. Glacier Peak trying to stay in this one.
They need replay.
Pitch. They do need replay.
We had the same problem here. They called Edmonds Woodway down, and right before, they called a fumble, and he was down before he lost the ball.
Well, we don't know. We're in the park. It was hit, and the ball popped out, and everyone came out. Now
all right.
And short.
We'll come back to you, Scott. Thank you.
Good one over there. Back to Snohomish.
No, it's not Messina. Kyle Williams.
Get on the outside. Looks like a 21 here with the
sevens are a little narrow.
Of the jersey number, but it is actually Makai Williams, their number 1 target.
Nice play call. They've been running the ball a lot tonight. Play action, got the defense sucked up, and then Makai Williams running just a corner route behind him, and he broke free, and it looked like the defender covering him slipped a little bit too, and so it created an easy jump ball situation for Makai.
Conover out of the pistol again, handing it off to Messina, who jolts to his left side, and he cuts back inside, and he is in for the touchdown. And we are tied up 28 apiece here at Veterans Memorial Stadium.
Extra point pending. Great play there for Snohomish. Messina just on the outside zone around the left side. You have the tight end, Ryan Douglas, and also Tyler Larson with big blocks there. And then Messina takes care of the rest with a nice little cutback to get across the goal line, and now Snohomish can tie it with the extra point. Big momentum swing on that really questionable fumble call.
He got the PAT, it seems. They are tied up 28 apiece. Tyler Messina leading the way. Another big touchdown from the star running back, and we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back after these messages.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Welcome back to Veterans Memorial Stadium with Edmonds Woodway tied up 28-28 with the Snohomish Panthers. The Snohomish taking care of business on the ground, led by their star running back Tyler Messina with another big carry. We have been calling his name all night. And it's funny, they're both heavily run-oriented offenses, but neither one can stop their star running backs.
Yeah, and then Larson's doing his part for Snohomish, Grimes for Edmonds Woodway. But again, that call to the goal line where the officials called that a fumble when it really looked like it was a ground-causing fumble. I can tell you this from experience. Before every game, let's see this kickoff first.
And that is returned to about the 31-yard line, rather, maybe the 32, in fact. Looks like they're going to mark it down at 31. With Edmonds Woodway, number 33, Grayson Lecomte. We've seen him in action quite a bit tonight, especially defensively.
So I can tell you, before every game, the referee will hand each coach a card. We can rate each official and then send it in. Based on that fumble that really should not have been called a fumble, Coach John Gradwell for Edmonds Woodway, his rating on that official will not be pretty good.
You have to wonder, would Snohomish have responded the same way they just did with that big run from Tyler Messina, that big drive, had Capaccio been given the fair call, Capaccio with a fair call, and allowed to get either the touchdown or eventually presumably the touchdown because they were down the 1 yard line. Would they have responded the same way?
If Snohomish comes back to win this game, that's going to be a question that Coach Gradwell is going to be asking himself probably all weekend and even going into next week.
What a costly call it was for Edmonds Woodway. Who's tied up with 10:55 remaining in this game.
2nd and 10, and Snohomish did a much better job stuffing that last counter trade.
Patrick Norton out of the eye, tossing it to Cherry, who gets quite a few yards, about 7 or 8 maybe on that play. They can't find a way to stop him, not yet at least.
Snohomish, he has his hands on him in the backfield, 7 yards deep in the backfield, just can't finish the play.
Just as elusive as they come.
I think both teams are going to be working a lot of tackling drills.
That's it.
In practice next week.
That's got to be the case.
Win or lose, there's going to be a lot of tackling done.
And staying flat too, and staying true to where in terms of not over.
Stay at home, going over.
Stay at home. Yeah.
Really, just a lot of fundamental stuff
on the line of scrimmage, and not over investing too much to where you're just allowing a huge play to develop, as we've seen frequently tonight. And it looks like
it might be an issue with the game clock, or
the clock's still running. It looks like they were resetting the clock to 10:20 now. It's 3rd and 5 for Edmonds Woodway's offense, trying to regain the lead. You had to figure they should have been up at least by a touchdown with that costly missed call by the referee earlier that prevented a Capaccio Cherry touchdown from happening, as Capaccio Cherry was stuffed on that play at the line of scrimmage.
A little toss sweep to the right side, and this time the quarterback, Norton, he became it's that play I've seen LSU back when Les Miles was their head coach. The quarterback would toss, and then the quarterback would even be a lead blocker.
LSU.
Oh, he was. All our man behind the scenes, Todd Elvig, pointed out that Cherry was close to fumbling that ball. That's why he couldn't really get a head of steam.
Big stop by Edmonds Woodway. Unbelievable. Looks like that may have been Houseman Fatty on the play. I believe that was number 5 from what we were seeing. Again, the font of these jerseys makes it a little difficult, or excuse me, rather, Kieran Browning on the coverage of that punt return. And Edmonds Woodway, while they may have punted away, they did certainly send a message to say, hey, we're not going to be pushed over easily. You're going to have to battle your way to the end to win this game.
Again, normally I'd say don't ever punt the ball near Tyler Messina, but if you can cover like that, okay. But you got to cover like that every time.
Yeah, because he has been all over the field tonight. Reversing field, just running marathons on this Snohomish defense. As Conover, excuse me, rather, hands the ball up the middle. Looks like that was
Larson
on the carry.
And really, even though it's been Messina with scoring the touchdowns, Conover, he's had his fingerprints all over this game as well, from just tough yards up the middle to lead blocks. The TNT backfield, as I like to call themselves, has been in full effect tonight.
Yep, Tyler Larson and Tyler Messina both been left and right, eating at this Snohomish defense. Looks like there may be
officials timeout.
I
think a Snohomish player might be having a little minor equipment issue that they were able to take care of. And
they are ready to get underway again.
Game on.
2nd and 7 at their 35-yard line is Snohomish, with Messina to the carry to the outside. It looks like he'll gain about 3 on the play. With 8:45 remaining in this one, we got ourselves an exciting ball game, tied up 28 apiece.
Sets up a 3rd and 4. That time they motion Mekhi Williams across the formation, get another blocker out there running outside zone. And if Messina had been able to break that the one tackler that was there to meet him, he might have had a chance to break off another big run. But credit the Edmonds Woodway defense for really getting Messina stopped before he could get the full head of steam.
Conover with the handoff yet again to Messina, who plows his way for another first down at about the 45-yard line. They will reset the downs for this Snohomish offense, who is trying to regain the lead, gain the lead for the first time in this game.
And again, Messina just straight up the middle, getting behind Larson, who's leading the way as a blocker. Nice little crease, broke one tackle and get across to the 45 for the chains.
Conover out of the pistol again. Larson to his right. One receiver to the near side. Larson with the carry, breaking a couple tackles, and it looks like he'll gain about 5 on that play. As Snohomish is shifting gears and trying to capture the lead for the first time tonight and really snag a win at their home turf.
And a little different wrinkle to the offense there. Usually it's Messina running the outside zone, but this time they give it to Larson going across the formation with Messina getting out ahead as the lead blocker. There's a nice little change of pace, gives Edmonds Woodway something else to think about.
And that's the thing with this Edmonds Woodway team. They may have gotten off to a 1-4 start, but they're not playing like a 1-4 team right now.
No, they are not.
Certainly playing effective.
Conover on
Snohomish team, with Conover keeping the ball on that one, and he will get the first down and some change.
Conover just keeping the ball it was a designed quarterback counter, and Bricks had some nice room to run and just ran into his own guy. Mekhi Williams was trying to get a block on a defensive back, and Conover, when he cut back, just ran right into the back of Williams. Oops.
And yeah, Conover showing his wheels on that one. And that's the thing. There's been so many misconnections tonight in the air. Conover trying to make some action happen with his legs if he can't contribute in the passing game, because it's been not pretty to say the least thus far, as Messina carries the ball on the right side down to about the 32. They're inching their way closer to another first down.
Nice hole open up by the Snohomish offensive line. Good push by their right tackle. And the tight end, number 95, Dunham, sets up a 2nd and short. And again, Snohomish, they can go play action pass, take a shot deep in the end zone, or they can run it if they want. They can really do anything they want with the playbook here.
Conover Taking the snap again out of the pistol. And the handoff to Tyler Messina up the middle. And he's got another first down for Snohomish.
Nice hole again, open up by the right side of that offensive line. Number 73.
Excuse me, that may have been
number 73, Carter Cole, the right guard, helping lead the way there.
Looks like that may have actually been. Was that Mekhi Williams on the carry?
No, that was Messina.
Okay, excuse me. Yeah, it was Messina. Again, the 27-21. I gotta get used to that. You know, it looked like he may have been out there in the backfield for a split second, but there he was in motion on the left side. But they're gonna hand it off to Tyler Larson, who trucks his way up the middle, and inside the 10-yard line is Snohomish. Capture the lead for the first time tonight.
And you really got to wonder about the fatigue level here for the Edmonds Woodway defenses. They put up a good defense for a while, but they've been taking a pounding from that Snohomish offensive line. Again, Carter Cole doing a great job at his right guard spot.
Yeah, we've seen a lot from both offensive lines. We haven't seen a lot of sacks created tonight. A couple here or there, but not as much explosion from the defensive line or any of the blitzing linebackers as Larson trucks his way in for the score is Snohomish, and they get the lead for the first time tonight, leading 34-28.
Just straight up the middle for Larson, getting behind his center and two guards and just bowling his way across and then over the defender for Edmonds Woodway.
And that's the thing, we've been talking about these backs all night, and Messina certainly, or Larson certainly the power of the team, and Messina more so the finesse.
Yeah.
And right there, that was on full display with Larson just plowing his way, doing whatever he can to take control of their home turf for the first time tonight.
And you really have to ask yourself, how deflating was that fumble that should not have been a fumble for Edmonds Woodway?
And we're going to go to a quick commercial break with a score of 35-28. Snohomish leading right now with 5:20 remaining in this game.
McDaniel's Do-It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized Do-It-Best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
And we are back at Veteran Memorial Stadium with Snohomish taking control of this one late in the fourth with 5:20 remaining as they lead 35-28 thanks to their two star running backs, TNT, Tyler Larson and Tyler Messina. This one, Tyler Larson getting the touchdown.
Or they could go by Tyler Squared.
Tyler Squared, there you go.
The
T Squared, yeah.
The law firm of Messina and Larson, Thunder and Lightning, which is a tried and true
there you go,
backfield duo name.
As I was saying earlier, Tyler Larson, more of the power. Tyler Messina, more of the finesse. Whatever they got to do to get it done is they're controlling this one. Edmonds Woodway taking the ball from the 30 to get out to about the 38-yard line.
And I mentioned him a couple times in the last drive, but really they've done a lot of damage going to the right side, and a lot of that has been Carter Cole, number 73, the senior right guard for the Panthers. He's been, whoever has been lining up across from him, they're going to see number 73 in their sleep tonight for Edmonds Woodway. Yeah, for Snohomish. I mean, Carter Cole's had a fine game tonight at his right guard position.
Yeah, they've been leaning on that right side where Messina has had that big, has had quite a few big plays. To get Snohomish back
Larson
in this.
Too.
And Larson, too, yeah. The 1-2 punch that they possess right now is Patrick Norton dropping back to pass. He's going to hook up the receiver out for a screen pass to the left side, but it's not going to gain them a single yard. They're going to be taken down at the line of scrimmage for second and long.
That was Grimes, fullback screen in the flat. I've seen that before. We had nightmares about that.
And not able to get much on that one, too.
For those watching, you don't know, I was a coach at Kamiak for 10 years, and we played Edmonds Woodway every year, so I've had plenty of dealings with having to coach against Coach Gradwall, who does a great job just about every year with these Edmonds Woodway Warriors.
And being a running back like yourself, I mean, I'm sure you've had to see, you know, plenty of screenplays like that. You know, when that doesn't go right, it looks like there's a flag on the play.
A rare flag. This has been a pretty clean game. I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to jinx it, but a rare flag. It looks like a Snohomish defender jumped across. A free 5 yards for Edmonds Woodway at a very inopportune time if you're the Panthers.
And that may be just what Edmonds Woodway needs to get back in this. But as I was saying earlier, I mean, what's the key? What's the most important part of executing a screenplay, being a running back, former running back like yourself?
When you're a running back, usually you start the play off, you'll pass block for a couple seconds and then release. And you got to sell that you're blocking.
So that release is the key aspect, huh? And Cherry looking to gain a few yards on that play, but may have gotten one at most.
So doing a much better job defending the counter tray.
Rather.
And the trick whether it's a trap or a counter tray, anytime that you have a pulling lineman coming at you, you actually want to wrong shoulder them. Usually you're taught to keep your outside arm leg free, but you actually want to throw that outside arm into the pulling guard and get low, create a pile up, and get the running back to stop and hesitate and allow the rest of your teammates on defense to make the tackle.
Now, if you're Edmonds Woodway, what are you doing right now? Are you giving the ball consistently to Kabasi or Cherry, or are you trying to maybe change it up a little bit and giving it to Grimes?
They did get the one long pass play to Dilworth. We may see that again at least one more time before the game's over.
We saw some movement right there, but no offsides as Cherry takes the carry up the middle. It looks like he may have gotten the first down on that one. They'll be moving the chains for Edmonds Woodway as they try to retie this game up at the 45-yard line.
They're going to measure. I don't like the spot, and I don't think they don't need to measure that at all. You know, something else to keep in mind with Coach Greibel. 1st and 10, 2nd and short. Those are the down and distances where he likes to call play action and take a shot deep. So from here on out, because we have a 1st and 10 here, and plus you're in good field position, this is a potential play action, throw it deep. If they get any 2nd and short, any 1st and 10, just watch out for that, especially trying to hit Dilworth on a skinny post route.
Twins to the far side for Edmonds Woodway's offense. Out of the eye, another toss sweep to Cherry. And he is brought down behind the line of scrimmage with a big tackle from Ryan Douglas, who just swallowed Cherry up on that one. They're finding themselves at 2nd and very long with only 2:25 remaining. A tough position for Edmonds Woodway to be in late in the game. We're getting closer to the 2-minute warning.
They're not an offense that functions well in these 2nd and 3rd and long situations. Great play there by Douglas, getting a hold of Cherry and getting him on the ground. It doesn't matter if it's perfect form or not. Just get a hold of him and get him on the ground.
Norton trying to get something going at 2nd and long with less than 2 to go. And Cherry with a carry to the outside.
Counter tray.
You have to wonder what was going on right there. I know their offense has not been able to click in the passing game, but it's 2nd and long, and you got 2 minutes. Do you really want to waste some time on the clock by giving a handoff to Cherry?
Just from seeing enough Edmonds Woodway in the past, Coach Gradwell has such complete faith in the counter, that play that we saw there, counter tray. I mean, that was the play that Cherry broke free on and got caught from behind on that controversial fumble call. And he's broken a few other counter trays off tonight, too. Coach Gradwell believes so much in that play, he will call it at any down and distance in any situation of the game.
There's that much belief in him.
There's that much. He has that. I mean, when years from now, when Coach Gradwell is at his funeral, on his tombstone, it should be underneath his name and date of birth, date of death. Should just say counter tray.
That's his bread and butter. He's going to stick by his bread and butter, and some will wonder why he ran that, but in that particular situation. But if that's what he wants to go with, I mean, he's the head coach, so he has the final say.
Yeah, and I've seen him call that play in more questionable situations. Trust me.
Woodway trying to get something going. 3rd and 17, coming potentially to the last 2 plays of the game. They're not able to get something going.
Middle screen to the receiver.
And it's screen to the receiver. A big play and more. Edmonds Woodway with a big touchdown. Oh my goodness, can you believe it? Their bread and butter in the run game all night. But on the pass, right there, that time, DeMarcus Dilworth with the huge screen catch and the run after, unbelievable.
That's another play I've seen Edmonds Woodway run countless times throughout the years. The wide receiver middle screen to their split end or their X receiver, who's Dilworth. That's the guy. That's the number one target in the passing game. Whoever they put at that position, and they finally break it out with in desperation time on 3rd and long, and Dilworth caught it, and I think they caught Snohomish in a blitz, and there was no one there in the middle of the field, and Dilworth split both safeties, and he was gone.
What a game this has been. I mean, absolutely unbelievable. Tied up 35 apiece. Can you believe I mean, it looked like Edmonds Woodway had control, and everything has changed since that controversial call. Do you believe that this is really affecting the mindset of Edmonds Woodway collectively as a team?
Well, apparently they snapped out of it. If that long touchdown pass doesn't snap them out of it, I don't know what will. Again, yeah, that game was a definite turning point of this game, but Edmonds Woodway has grabbed momentum right back to tie it with that passing catch and run by Dilworth. And now with 1:34, that's still time for Snohomish. They do have one timeout left, so they'll have to be smart when to use it. But first things first, if I'm Edmonds Woodway, I'm telling my kicker, do not under any circumstances put it anywhere near number 21. If you do, you're walking home. Not really, but I might tell him that just to drive home that point. We do not want him touching the ball. And then really the game gets put into Conover's hands. Take Conover, the quarterback of Snohomish. He's got to be the one now. It's going to have to be on his arm and his decision making to drive Snohomish down the field. We see number 2 for them, Michael Herrera, warming up now. I don't know what his range is, but he obviously knows, and the coaching staff for the Panthers knows, they got to get down at least to there to have a chance to win this game in regulation.
Another squib kick off to Snohomish that was returned at the 25 all the way down to the 41.
So great field position for Snohomish. They don't have to go. They don't have to go the length of the field. And that's the thing with the squib kicks. If you happen to kick it right back to it, right in an up back, you risk giving them decent field position to start a drive.
Well, and that's what I was alluding to earlier, talking about this game being at this point, and you're wondering if it's affecting Edmonds Woodway. For one thing, did they leave too much time on the clock? Do you believe so? With 1:28, you've got the explosive run game in Snohomish.
I don't think when they called that screen pass, they were expecting to break for a touchdown. I think it was definitely 4-down territory. They were trying to at least put themselves in manageable fourth in a manageable fourth down. That they got the touch, but they're not going to tell Dilworth don't score, because you got to have faith in defense. And Snohomish really has not shown the ability to pass it on a consistent basis tonight. So you're willing to take your chances.
Well, it looks like there's a penalty called on the play. Appears this could be on Snohomish offensively. We'll see what the call is.
Offsides on Edmonds Woodway.
Offsides on defense. Never mind. So Edmonds Woodway will cough up 5 yards.
And the side judge who's on the Edmonds Woodway sideline threw it, so he can expect to get an earful from Coach Gradwell.
Now I know they're tied up, and they would have been tied up probably at best unless they would have went for the 2-point conversion, which I don't know if they would have had that much guts to do so. But do you feel comfortable leaving a 1:28 left on the clock with how they've been able to shift gears offensively, especially in the run game, for Snohomish, or just waste some time and get this into overtime?
For Snohomish, they're going to go for the win now. If I'm Edmonds Woodway, because Snohomish hasn't shown the ability to consistently throw the ball, I'm okay with how much time was left. So, and at some point, you have to put faith in your defense that within 90 seconds, they could get a stop. Whoa, that's...
And this is an unusual formation we're seeing. Oh, and it looks
reverse
like
pass.
Reverse pass to Conover, who finds, and he's unable to connect. He had a man open, but it was too long.
They shifted in some sort of student body right formation, then the reverse pass, Conover was out as a receiver, and Ryan Douglas broke free from his defender. He just couldn't keep his feet.
Very, very well executed up until that pass just being a tad bit too deep.
And 1st and 5, because they got those free 5 yards, 1st and 5, I don't mind a play call like that, because you feel like you should be able to get 5 yards in the next 2 plays.
Snohomish. Boy, this game has been, I mean, it has been unbelievable. Ever since that controversial call, Snohomish find themselves back in it. Thanks to those two pieces, TNT in the backfield. They, again, you expect them to get the ball again on this play. Oh, it looks like there's another penalty on the play.
False
and
start.
A false start, so they're going to bring this back for Snohomish. And not a way you want to start out on second down right now with 1:22 to go.
I didn't see any movement there, but I'm a lot farther away from the field than the official who threw that flag, and also that official probably had members of the Edmonds Woodway coaching staff helping him to point out that when they felt like someone on the Snohomish line did move. Not that coaches would ever do that.
And Conover out of the pistol again with one receiver to the near side. Max protection.
Quarterback counter.
Keeps the ball and will run to the right side, gaining quite a bit of yards. Down to about midfield is Conover and this Snohomish offense.
They got to hurry up now. He did not get a first down, so the clock's still running.
And it's 3rd down and 2 approximately. Edmonds Woodway scrambling to find answers on how to stop this Snohomish offense, because they have just been clicking left and right over the last quarter and a half about. And Messina,
he might be short.
It looks like he may have gotten it.
I think they're going to give it to him. Wow.
Yeah, what a carry by Messina on that one. Leaning on him all night, and he executes yet again.
If I'm an Edmonds Woodway coach, I'm wondering, do I ask for a measurement there? Because that was a very close call.
It looked like to me he got it, but I can understand. It was close. It was most definitely close. Looks like Snohomish was able to execute on getting the first down again as Messina takes another carry to the outside, this time on the left side. And he's brought down at about the 40.
And now Snohomish will use their last timeout. And you have to wonder, earlier in this game, Snohomish called a timeout after Edmonds Woodway touchdown right before an extra point try for more of an attitude adjustment, but was that a wise timeout to use then?
And it's 35-35 between Snohomish and Edmonds Woodway, and we're going to take a quick commercial break and be back with the last 31 seconds of the game. You're watching STSPN.
Every year, thousands of groups depend on Adrenaline fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Adrenaline fundraising is about developing leaders through commitment, work ethic, and follow through. Adrenaline has several products including gold cards, coupon books, cookie dough, donation programs, and many other options to help teams raise the funds needed for their programs. Adrenaline's new app called UpPay will help teams raise money while providing their supporters the ability to earn cash back on everyday purchases at places like Starbucks, Nike, Red Robin, and over 200 plus national retailers. Adrenaline Fundraising is this season's sponsor of the STSPN's Play of the Game Award.
And we're back at Veterans Memorial Stadium. The score tied up 35 apiece between the Snohomish Panthers and the Edmonds Woodway Warriors. The Snohomish has the ball at the 41-yard line rather, in Edmonds Woodway territory. Conover out of the pistol, hands it off to Messina, who gets to the left side and almost out of bounds at about the 32-yard line.
He got a first down, so the clock stops so they can move the chains, but because he didn't get out of bounds, once the chains are set, they will start the clock again, and Snohomish will.
And again,
there's an injury.
Looks like there's an injury on the play.
To one
of the Edmonds Woodway players.
So this
and we've had a clean game with injuries this far, and that's just a shame to see that, especially late in the game.
I think this is the first one we've seen tonight.
We just hope he's okay. He is down on the field right now. Looks like it could be potential right leg injury. But what a game this has been. I mean, we're getting down to the final second. It's just been unbelievable to see the resilience of Snohomish, but also
and Edmonds Woodway, because that called fumble was
that too
potentially a devastating call, and they were able to respond.
You got it.
After falling down, they came back to tie it, and
They're able to escort him off the field. He is appearing to be walking on his own terms, and good to see that in an exciting, thrilling matchup between these two crosstown rivals.
And it doesn't look like it just based on formation for Snohomish, but I've seen Snohomish put Messina in the slot and throw it to him a little bit more in the past.
And Messina unable to get much going on that one as he's stuck behind the line of scrimmage. And again, they are leaning on the run game tonight, not trying to pass it whatsoever. And you've only got 12 seconds to go. Are you sure this is this is the approach they should be going with?
I'm not Coach Hammer. I don't know how he feels about Conover throwing the ball in this weather, or just Conover throwing the ball, period. Maybe they have some injuries to their wide receiver core that we don't know about. So I just don't know. So it's tough to criticize a coach without knowing every bit of information that he has. But if it's me, I mean, I'm probably maybe wanting to push the ball a little bit more downfield.
Nonetheless, an exciting, like I said, I'm going to reiterate it again, an exciting, thrilling matchup here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Week 6 of this high school football season in 2018 between two teams just hungry to prove themselves as one of the top teams in the Westco Conference. And
well, Snohomish was looking to, solidify their hold on first place in the South Division. Meanwhile, Edmonds Woodway, they want to get back into the playoff conversation.
A rough start for Edmonds Woodway to start the season, but they've really shown that they're hanging on as Conover guns it deep, but unable to connect with his.
Well, Mekhi Williams went up just with one hand to try to catch that like he's Odell Beckham Jr. Maybe take another step before you jump and go up with two hands.
Yeah, trying to reenact that catch on Sunday Night Football. Back in 2014 against the Cowboys, between the Cowboys and Giants.
Not everyone is able to catch a deep pass with 3 fingers. I'm sorry.
Looks like a timeout is taken by Snohomish, and we're going to go to a quick commercial break as Snohomish still trying to take control of this one as it's tied up 35-35, 5 seconds to go in the fourth.
Do-It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized do-it-best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
And we are back at Veterans Memorial Stadium. The score tied up 35-35 between the Snohomish Panthers and the Edmonds Woodway Warriors. 5 seconds to go. Ball at the 33-yard line. Going to be interesting to see what Snohomish has in store for this play. Trips to the far side. They've been running the ball for the majority of the night, but let's see what happens right here. Conover takes the snap. Scrambles in the pocket, but he is brought down with a strip sack. And we're going into overtime.
He was faking the run and then going to throw. I don't know what they were exactly trying to accomplish there. Really tough to say who's got momentum. I think probably Edmonds Woodway, just because they're the ones that tied the game to send it to overtime. And so now with the coin toss, if you win the toss, you want the ball second because you want to know what you have to do on offense when you get your chance with the ball. And while we wait for the coin toss, I do have a final score report from the Westco 4A.
What's that?
As a proud alum of Kamiak High School, the Knights got their first win of the season, beating Cascade tonight, 14-13. Whew, they will not go over this year, thank goodness.
They got their first W of the season, and that's certainly meaningful, as Edmonds Woodway was looking for their first W last week against Shorewood and was able to get it. And we've been talking about, again, that costly call by the refs. That really seemed to shift the tide in the game.
But ultimately, if you're Coach Gradwell, one of the things that you tell your kids is, we got to play better than the refs call. And we had other chances in this game to put this game away so that it doesn't even get to overtime. And you can't allow your kids or even yourself to focus on just one play, especially a play that happened in the third quarter in a close game. Yeah, there's all sorts of other moments that if you get a stop here, convert a third down there, that could also have changed this game so that fumble or non-fumble that was called the fumble wouldn't have mattered.
Now, if things were to go awry and not in the favor, it looks like Snohomish will...
I think they're going to go that direction.
Will be going that direction.
They'll be going towards the scoreboard.
Edmonds Woodway will be going in that direction, right?
Yes.
And they will be taking the ball.
So it looks like Snohomish won the toss. They'll get the ball second, which is what you want, just because, again, you want to know what you have to do.
And but, yeah, if things were to go awry, as I was alluding to earlier, if things were to go awry for Edmonds Woodway and they were not able to get the W, will this be a loss that they will reflect on for quite a bit of time and just ask what could have been?
Yeah, this game, I believe this game is a must-win for them if they want to make the playoffs.
1-4 right now.
So, but again, you have to put that one controversial play out of your head now. It's
begin with a new
overtime, clean slate, and you gotta be 1 point better than Snohomish is in these two possessions. That's all you have to do.
Edmonds Woodway starting the ball. Opponent's 25. See if they can put the first score on the board in overtime. Of course, again, reminder that each team gets a possession. And they're going to go with their bread and butter with Capaccio Cherry. Carry to the left side. Looks like a gain of about maybe 2.5 on the play.
And they've run the toss sweep both to the slot receiver side and away from it. I think they've had a lot more success running towards the slot receiver side. So if they run it again, I expect to go that direction instead of what they just did, run it to the tight end side.
You have to wonder if there are any tricks up John Gradwell's sleeve.
He's called a halfback pass before.
He's calling passing plays.
Kind of
Norton hands the ball off to Cherry, and Cherry looks like he was taken down behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a third down for this Warriors offense.
And I think that was Ryan Douglas, the linebacker, shooting in. And when you're playing linebacker, when you see pulling guards and tackles, if you play it right and if you read your keys right, it does create what we call run-throughs, where it might look like it's a blitz, but it's not. It's just you see an opening and you run through it, and if you time it just right, you can meet the ball carrier in the backfield.
And twins to the near side out of the eye is Patrick Norton, managing this offense with a play action, trying to go for his receiver, and it's tipped away. It's going to be fourth down and long for this Woodway offense.
Trenton Brown, the backside safety, great recovery there to be able to get his hands on that pass. He sucked in a bit on the play action there, but he recovered nicely, and also credit some of the pass rush for Snohomish because they did not allow the quarterback, Norton, to really step into that and make a strong throw. Then we have 4th and 8, and doesn't look like Edmonds Woodway as a kicker that can make a 40-yard field goal, so they're going to have to go for it here.
Indeed they are. Twins to the near side out of the eye. They're going to call a timeout. They're going to get this last play of the drive figured out. We're going to go to a quick commercial break and be back with more action on STSPN. We're watching Friday Night Football.
We're all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Because we are Snohomish County's premier Lennox dealer, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. The Lennox Home Comfort System creates the ideal home environment. Enjoy innovation in every season with precise, quietly efficient Lennox heat pumps that keep your life simply perfect. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electric today or visit us at gsheating.com.
We are back at Veterans Memorial Stadium. The score is knotted up 35 apiece. It's 4th down and 7. A big play in overtime as Edmonds Woodway tries to get something here At least the first down. That's all they need to keep the drive going. Out of the eye. Twins to the right side.
Halfback
They're going to
pass.
go for a potential halfback pass, but it is unable to be completed.
Incomplete.
And Edmonds Woodway turning over the ball on downs for Snohomish to take control now.
There's a throwback, and I think Cherry's pass may have been a forward pass, so the second forward pass should not have been allowed, but no matter. It felt incomplete, and now Snohomish, they get the ball. They didn't allow any points. They can be a little conservative here. They just have to get it within field goal range, and they can win this game. What that field goal range is, it depends on Herrera and how he's feeling tonight.
Well, we've seen a lot of great PATs executed tonight, but again, you wonder how close, is that range? Can they get something within the 15-yard line? Or
kicking a PAT versus kicking a field goal in overtime to win it, two different sets of,
Exactly. Hand off to Tyler Larson off to the right side.
Again, running behind that right side of the line, led by Carter Cole, the right guard, who I think if Snohomish wins, I'm going to pick a lineman for player of the game. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. Why not? I mean, they've been protecting up front for Snohomish like nobody's business. I mean, Messina and Larson have been taking over this game, in part because of their athleticism, but also in part because of the holes that are created by that great offensive line tonight. And a big stop by Edmonds Woodway on that one.
That was
Marcus Dilworth.
He's doing it all. He's doing it all for the Warriors tonight.
We've been saying his name quite a bit tonight.
He shot through that gap there and made a nice tackle. And again, a lot of times if you see a linebacker making a play behind the line of scrimmage, it's not always a blitz. Sometimes they just see a gap and you're taught, you see it, you hit it. Take that run through.
I wonder how close they need to be before they just feel safe and secure with going for the field goal, as it's third down right now.
Quarterback counter.
And QB keeps it. Conover getting down inside the 10-yard line, and it looks like Snohomish is on a roll to potentially win this game.
First and goal from the 8. Right now, I think play calling wise, you run to the left and try to tell your backs, try to, once you get in kind of the middle of the hash marks, keep it there. So even if you don't score a touchdown, you set yourself up with a very makeable field goal.
And what a turn of events it has been for this Panthers team. They took advantage of that call, have not looked back since. As Messina to the left side, and he is in for the touchdown. Snohomish wins at Veterans Memorial Stadium, taking control 41-35 over the Edmonds Woodway Warriors.
Wow, what a game. Great job blocking by the left side of the line this time, and Larson also getting out in front, and Mekhi Williams both providing key blocks, and then just the speed of Messina beating the Warrior defense to the corner and just diving across the goal line near the pylon. Gets it across, and oh, what a game, and oh, what could have been for Edmonds Woodway. It's not going to be a fun bus ride home to Edmonds tonight.
And Messina trying to pump up the crowd, getting them hyped up, ready to go and start cheering on this on this Panthers team rather. That's now 4-2 on the season, 4-0 in conference play. Unbelievable win. And Snohomish taking control of this one. And yeah, unbelievable game, unbelievable turn of events between these two teams. As Edmonds Woodway just seemed to be significantly affected mentally by that costly, controversial ref call.
I mean, these are high school kids. They're emotional. You never know just what can cause them to go into a funk for a little while, and that fumble or non-fumble, I think, really turned the tide for Snohomish. Yeah, Edmonds Woodway got some momentum back on that long catch run by Dilworth that tied this game up to send it to overtime. But credit the Panther defense. They stood tall when they needed to, and in overtime, they got the ball to their offense, and then Messina and Larson took care of the rest.
What a duo they have been. They have been all over the field tonight. heart and soul, the TNT, the power and finesse, whatever adjective or analogy you want to make of this running back duo. They carried the team tonight with runs left and right, inside, outside, you name it.
And not knowing the results of tonight, I'm not going to say that this. I don't think this will mathematically clinch the West Coast South for them, but it puts the Snohomish a lot closer to securing themselves at least a berth in the playoffs going forward and being able to play some meaningful games in November.
Snohomish this is the perfect time for them to get things going at the midway point of the season as we get into the second half of the season. We've got Linwood next week, who is winless thus far. Last year was not much of a contest between them and Snohomish. The Snohomish went on to win 55-0.
Well, I was at that game last year, and I think Linwood was playing a lot of freshmen and a lot of sophomores. So Coach Bankhead, he's in it for the long haul, and he knows they're probably another year away from being able to really make some noise in the West Coast South. But again, Snohomish was playing a team that was 1-4, and they fell behind. They were behind most of this game. So this is for Coach Hammond. It's a good as they get ready for Linwood. Hey, you may have taken Edmonds way lightly because of their record, and look what almost happened. Don't do the same. Don't make that same mistake with Linwood. And let's take care of business and get closer to that conference title.
And yeah, it's been an incredible matchup between these two. Hard-fought battle, getting down to overtime, where we ended up seeing the final result between this one. It took every bit of energy between both teams. An incredible thriller of a game between these two. And, you know, tip my hat to both coaches and both teams, because that was an exciting game we just witnessed.
Very exciting. I think if you're Snohomish, you're thinking, boy, if we don't have those two fumbles in the first half, it's not that exciting. We maybe won this handily, but you like the resilience they showed, the mental, physical toughness that it took to climb back into this game, take the lead. Yeah, it went to overtime, but they were able to get the job done. And again, for Edmonds Woodway, there's going to be a lot of what ifs and what might have been, because it felt like they really had this game, because once they got the lead and it kind of became a game of two teams trading touchdowns, that's the advantage of the team with the lead. They lost it, and they just really never really kind of keep that foothold that they once had on them.
They did not shy away from their bread and butter, running the ball, even going into the waning seconds of the fourth quarter. And it worked out for the best for Snohomish. And Edmonds Woodway just unable to get that opening overtime drive going, and as a result, it cost them a win, and they fall to 1-5 on the season. It's been a long time since they've been 1-5 to start the season, so a rough patch for John Gradwell, who's not accustomed to playing at this low of a level.
And a lot of these players aren't either, because they were a playoff team last year. So yeah, maybe there was a lot of seniors on that team last year, but these young kids had a chance to learn from those seniors, so they've been around success. And when you come into a program that's been as consistently good as Edmonds Woodway is, you don't expect seasons like this. You expect to, you got to put in the work to do it, but you expect to kind of carry that on and continue. So again, long bus ride for Edmonds Woodway, maybe a little bit of soul searching, and there's probably going to be a little chat about, okay, probably not going to make the playoffs, but how do we want to finish the season? How do we want to be remembered? How do you want people to remember the 2018 Edmonds Woodway Warriors?
It doesn't get any easier for Edmonds Woodway, who takes on Shorewood next week. It's 5-1, the best start since, at least the records that I've been given, I've gone back to since 2004. They have never won 5 games in a single season. So to start out at 5-1 is certainly a rarity, to say the least, for that Shorewood Wildcats team, or Thunderbirds team, excuse me.
What should give Edmonds Woodway some hope going into that one is this same team that they went toe-to-toe with and took to overtime, that team, this Snohomish team, they dominated Shorewood. So if you just look at, comparable results, they should feel good about their chances going into next week.
Just waiting for our player of the game to come up. And
Carter Cole, hopefully got the message.
Lineman for Snohomish. He just led them to an incredible.
I like rewarding offensive linemen and defensive linemen because they're the guys that they're the engine that makes everything possible for the guys behind them, and hopefully we'll see him soon. But again, big win for Snohomish, able to kind of bounce back from a lackluster first half, and now they have a chance in these next couple of weeks to really lock up their first West Coast South title in a long time and go into the playoffs with some real momentum.
All right, let's go ahead and wrap it up. Obviously, they've got something important going on in the locker room, so we'll just give the player the game shirt to the coach and have them hand that off.
Alrighty, well that does it for us at Veterans Memorial Stadium. The final score, 41-35, Snohomish over Edmonds Woodway. On behalf of our producer, Todd Elvig, our commentator as well, and I'm David Gillespie.
I'm Luke Winsor, by the way.
Yeah. I'm John Blank.
Go Chiefs.
So long here from Veterans Memorial Stadium, and we'll see you next time.